The wait is almost over. Round one of the 2024 NFL Draft is 60 minutes away, and we're going to be hanging out with you guys for the next few hours, going pick by pick, breaking down every single selection. So welcome on in, Matthew Peterson here. Full transparency, hosting two channels tonight, our Broncos Breakdown and our Falcons Today. So I hope that both Falcons fans and Broncos fans can play nicely with one another, but I am covering both teams right now. As Chat Sports continues to grow, hopefully in a few years we'll have one host for all 32 teams. But for now, I freaking love the grind of getting my hands all over the NFL Draft. So before we get too far into the weeds, shout out your city for me. Let me know where you are tuning in from. It's always good to see where people are watching from. As I've got Ty Man the Buckeye. I don't even want to know how many screens Ty Man the Buckeye has going. This is actually Ty Man's biggest nightmare. We're all live at once. Okay. I've got Barry in Locust Grove, Georgia. Savage Falcon is in Savannah, Georgia. I've got Trent in Southern Utah in St. George. Morgan's in Washington. Rob's in Albuquerque. Frederick is in Savannah. Jeff is in Central Florida. Mile High hates Kansas. Legacy is in Casper, Wyoming. Great, no free ads. Texas Roadhouse there. Phoenix City, Alabama from Brody Brown. Let's see, Justin's in Colorado. Bill's in Arkansas. Michael is in LA. I'm Frey in the house watching from Missouri. King's in El Paso. I've got Anthony in Decatur, Georgia. Trey is here watching from Georgia. Falcons for life in Kansas. We're going to have a lot of fun today as we get ready for the NFL Draft. We're going to run through all of the latest draft rumors, what I'm hearing, what the smoke is saying as we are inching closer and closer to the Chicago Bears officially being on the clock. We got a super chat coming in from a Falcons fan. What's going on? We've got Rian and Anthony sending in a pair of $2 super chats. Producer Cullen Brown working his first NFL draft with us today. And I'm not going to even say give him a break, give him some slack. He's going to absolutely kill it. Rian, what's going on, dude? Out here from Hawaii, go Falcons. We have an early winner for our furthest viewer right now, I would say. Rian watching all the way from Hawaii. Appreciate your super chat. And best of luck with pick number 8, dude. I mean, I think Atlanta's going to go Dallas Turner, but we'll have to wait and see. We got super chat coming in from Anthony. We'll throw that on screen for you as soon as it's ready. In the meantime, Ed is in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. Josh is in Texas. I've got Let Ride in Omaha. Cash is in Libby, Montana. Not quite sure if that's an actual town or not. Johnny is in Columbia, South Carolina. We're talking about a diehard fan. That's Johnny. Anthony sending in an emoji with a pear character in his hand, putting his hand in front of his mouth while blushing. Anthony, appreciate the super chat, dude. Thank you very, very much. So, like I said, we're going to get to the latest draft rumors. We'll hit Let's Go Broncos super chat in a few moments. But I do want to hit a quick PSA from our wonderful sponsor today, Game Time. And on the other side of that, we'll run through my final mock draft. But first, a quick word from our friends at Game Time. Today's show is sponsored by Game Time. If you are trying to get tickets to a local sporting event or concert, whether it's a playoff basketball or hockey game or anything else under the sun, get started with Game Time today because they're going to give you killer last-minute deals and all-in prices for all the big events. When you download the Game Time app, you can get $20 off your first purchase when you use code CHATSPORTS. Now, personally, I love that Game Time gives you an option to do all-in price right from the jump. That way you don't spend 15, 20 minutes going through an entire checkout process just to see that the ticket price doubles with all the taxes and fees. But with Game Time, you don't have to worry about that. They'll tell you what the all-in price is right from the start. So download Game Time today. It's the best place to find last-minute seats. When you download the app, create an account and use code Chat Sports for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply, but again, create an account and redeem code CHAT Sports for $20 off. I put all that information in the comments, in the chat, and description of today's video. Download Game Time today. Last minute tickets, lowest price guaranteed. Let's get to some of the latest draft rumors as we are less than an hour away. So, I want to go in some sort of order as to the smoke and where they're picking. Let's start with where they're picking. The New England Patriots, as I have long stated, are going to be staying put at number 3, it appears. I did not forecast New England with a QB-loaded class and a brand-new head coach and GM trading out of a top 3 pick that they are not responsible for picking that high. So it looks like Drake May is a Patriot. The Eagles are looking to trade up. And also, water is wet. I mean, Howie Roseman has always been aggressive when looking to trade up in the NFL draft. So keep an eye on the birds. Byron Murphy before Dallas Turner. I'm selling this. I still think it is Dallas Turner at number 8 for the Falcons. Byron Murphy's name will be called, but it will be in the teens. Atlanta eyeing Latu. This name has picked up some traction. I don't think it's happening. I think it is Dallas Turner at number 8. A big thing that I think people are losing sight of is Latu's coach at Washington when he was there before UCLA is Jimmy Lake, the Atlanta Falcons' new defensive coordinator. So if there is one man in the NFL that knows a little bit about Latu, it would be Lake. Are the Broncos trading pick number 12? I fully expect Denver to trade pick number 12. What direction? I think back. I think they want to get back into round number 2. Get Bo Nix there, and pick up a premier defender later on in round number 1. Other draft rumors, the Giants all of a sudden have really emerged as a very aggressive team, we'll put it, to try and move up in the draft to maybe get someone like Marvin Harrison Jr. Keep an eye on New York as a team to trade up for maybe a quarterback like J.J. McCarthy. I think they're going to stay put at 6. I think they're going to get Malik Neighbors, but they may be working the phones right now. The Rams are apparently trying to get into the top 10. I forecasted a Broncos-Rams trade. That was 19-12. Maybe it's 19-10 with the New York Jets. What could the Rams be moving up for? I think offensive line. The Chargers recently have been giving signs of going J.C. Latham, the Alabama right tackle. They've got Penei Sewell at, Rashawn Slater, another great tackle, at left tackle, and now they want to get a right tackle. And while there are some great options like Joe Alt at number 5 most likely, he played left tackle at Notre Dame. They may try to get a surefire right tackle in Latham. The Vikings, are they going to be moving up for J.J. McCarthy? Yes, but how far up? Do they go all the way to 4 or 5? Or maybe they jump with the Atlanta Falcons at number 8, and it's just a very minuscule jump up. Regardless, I think Minnesota will not be picking at 11 and 23. And then another quarterback rumor, Michael Penix. Is he going to the Raiders at 13? I am selling this. I do not think Michael Penix is the pick for Las Vegas at 13. I think it is either Terrion Arnold or Quinyon Mitchell. One of those 2 DBs is a Las Vegas Raider. Now, before we get to my mock draft call, we have a whole bunch of super chats that are flying in. We got a lot of people watching with us right now. Reminder, we are actually having a simulcast between our Broncos and our Falcons channel, so hope everyone can play nice with one another. But we're going to recap all of the super chats that you guys have sent in throughout the last 10 minutes since we've started our live today. So we'll get to every one of your super chats. Greatly appreciated. If you want to support the channel in more ways than just liking and commenting, which, by the way, are great ways to support the channel, so please do like the video. Super chats are greatly appreciated. We got a super chat coming in from Let's Go Broncos. I can't tell if he's in the Broncos stream or the Falcons stream. Okay, gosh, Colin. You're like, Dwight, I'm Michael. Work with me here. Let's go Broncos, dude. Hey, appreciate your super chat. Thank you so much. Twice. Double dipping. George Costanza. I love it. Thank you so much. Really, really do appreciate your support. And whoever you want the Broncos to pick, I hope they pick. Whoever that is. Don't tell me, though.
Don't tell.
I would love to see Denver get Brock Bowers. There, I said it. I think that'd be a great pick for the Broncos. And that is just a core, cornerstone piece like Patrick Surtain in the future. We got a $2 super chat coming in from our Falcons viewer, Rian Respicio, thinking Dallas Turner. Rian, I too am also thinking Dallas Turner. I just think that they're not going to overthink this one and just horribly burn it. Could you make sure that it's on the correct word to wrap? Because it cuts off the text.
Yeah.
I think that's why it says Dallas Turner. Because Rian also said thinking Dallas Turner or trade to 11 for Latu. I'm not super high on Latu. I just think that he may have some. Well, I also say Tack McKinley because they just both went to UCLA. But
is it just the regular? Sorry.
I'm not quite sure which one it is, but try one of them because it's not this one.
Okay.
So Rian, we'll see what they end up doing at pick number 8, whether to trade back. If you kind of go through all top 10 picks, like 1, 2 are not going anywhere. The Patriots are not trading number 3, it looks like. Number 4 with the Arizona Cardinals is open. Number 5 with the Chargers is definitely open. The 6 Giants, I think, are going to stay or move up, but not down. 7 Titans, I think, could be had for a good offer. 8 Atlanta Falcons could definitely be available for a trade just because Atlanta is bracing for some sort of punishment next year because of the tampering allegations, allegedly, with Kirk Cousins. Maybe they want to stockpile an extra second or third. Rian, appreciate your super chat. We've got I Bleed Blue. Let's trade back maybe 5 spots, pick up a day 2 pick, and get a QB. Terrion Arnold or Jared Verse with our first round pick. I like Jared Verse a lot. I think he's a mean SOB when it comes to physicality, high motor, and run stopping abilities. Is he the best athlete? No, he's not. But like TJ Watt isn't the best athlete at that position either, and he's still very productive. So I don't think you have to be an absolute freak to be good at rushing the passer. I Bleed Blue. I've got no qualms with trading back to get a guy like Terrion Arnold or Jared Verse. Ed Garrett with a $2 super chat. Let's go, baby. Let's go, Ed. Can't wait. I watched Draft Day last night, an annual tradition. Every time I watch Draft Day, I live tweet it because every single time something more or equally ridiculous from last year pops out to me.
Yep.
This time, I never noticed the first trade offer that the Seahawks made to the Browns for pick number 1 was swapping 7 and 1, a future first, and a future third.
Yep.
That's it. Could you imagine if the Tennessee Titans, actually, if the Chicago Bears, that's the right example, called the Tennessee Titans and said, we know you kind of like Will Levis. You can get Caleb Williams for your first next year and your third next year. Like, that's all it would take. Unbelievable. Ed Garrett, appreciate you. Dave Joseph, Jonah Ellis in round 3. You cannot convince me that if Jonah Ellis and Caden Ellis are on the same team, they're not equally going to be faster and stronger together. I think Jonah Ellis is my edge number. He might be edge 4.
Okay.
I'm higher on Jonah Ellis than Chop Robinson.
Yeah,
there's a hot take. You want to know why? One guy had 12 sacks last year. The other had 4.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care if one of them's a better track star.
Right.
This is not track. This is football.
Yep.
So Jonah Ellis in round 3 for any team, I think would be a great pick. Barry Brazil, go Falcons. Barry Brazil, appreciate you, my guy. Are you going to go to Packers Eagles, week 1 in Sao Paulo? Let me know. Tyler Payne, Bo Nix in the 2nd round. I think Bo Nix is going to make one hell of a backup quarterback one day. And I know that's really mean to Bo, but it's my honest opinion. And if he doesn't, I'd be happy to be wrong. But if I'm right, at least it only cost you a 2nd rounder.
Yep.
Imagine if you took Drew Lock in round 1. Right? You're like, I think that's kind of the path Bo Nix is on. Which it's always crazy to try and put it in your brain that a guy that's supposed to go round 1 could be a backup.
Yeah.
But, go look at some previous drafts. Where do you think Mitch Trubisky is these days?
Yeah.
Josh Rosen's out of the league.
Yep. Sam
It
Darnold.
happens. Sam Darnold.
Yeah.
Baker was very close to being a backup.
Yeah.
This stuff does happen, boys and girls. We got Carson, a number 1 viewer maybe from Falcons today. Latu is a lock at 8. My source is solid. If Carson gets this right, he may have my job.
He might.
I think Carson will be at Chat Sports' downtown office come Saturday morning. I think he'll be on the next flight to Dallas.
The way we're hiring people, that's a very real possibility.
We have one guy who has his first day today.
How?
I could not have fathomed the NFL Draft
That's
being
my
your
first
first day.
Couldn't.
Isaiah, what's going on? How do you get a job like this? How did you start? Appreciate the question. I started by going to college and studying broadcast journalism. Then I graduated in the middle of the pandemic in 2020. Took the only job I could get, which was doing small town radio in Wyoming. Wanted to cut my teeth and just wanted to get into the business. Did that for a year. Applied to the job I currently have now here at Chat Sports. Been here for nearly 3 years. Will be 3 in July. But the simplest answer is I would say take initiative to create your own content so that when you apply to jobs like this and they ask you, do you have experience, you can just show them the content you've already done and they'll go, well, this is a plug-and-play guy, right? If you want to think about it in NFL draft terms, if you want to be a tackle for a team, go play tackle. Like, don't play center and then say, but then I can play tackle in the NFL.
Exactly.
Like, go do that right now. You can do it. The internet's waiting for you. Isaiah, best of luck, and if I can help you at all, just let me know. Isaiah Jones, you ready for the trunk episode? I don't even know if this was me or the last host said that if they don't go Dallas Turner, I'll do a shit-faced episode. It was me. I'm not drinking today. I've been on like a drinking pause for like 3 weeks, and like I've kind of noticed a difference in my health.
Right.
So I'm gonna keep it going for at least another week or two. I got a wedding at the end of May, so it will definitely end by then. But if they don't take Dallas Turner and he is available, I plan on getting top 5 drunkest of my life at my office.
Yeah.
So that would be something, Isaiah. Rianne, what's going on? The only way I see the Falcons taking wide receiver round 1 is if they trade back to 14 and take a wide receiver there. I'm high on Latu, but wide receiver or cornerback sounds good to me. I think if they trade back to 14, the wide receiver they would be interested in, Roma Dunze, would be gone. If they really want to get a wide receiver, just stay at 8 and get a Dunze if he's available. Don't trade back to 14 and get like sloppy seconds Brian Thomas. No offense, Brian. And I like a Dunze more than Thomas. So if they're going wide receiver, I think they're just going to stay put and not play with their food and try and get greedy and get an extra day 2 pick out of a trade. Don't mind cornerback, though. This cornerback class is like weird. Rounds 1 and 2, I think, have some really good starters. After that, I've got like 2 names I like. Richardson from A&M and Phillips from Kentucky and Cam Hart from Notre Dame. That's about it. Tyler Payne. Okay, I'll settle for Michael Pratt in the 3rd. I think Pratt and Rattler... I think Pratt goes day 3. I think Spencer Rattler will be right there at the end of round 3, maybe early round 4. I wouldn't be surprised if Spencer Rattler is the first pick of round 4.
Okay.
Tyler Payne, appreciate your super chat. Clayton Anderson. I feel you, Carson. Let's go. Falcons, let's get it. Let's make a statement. Falcons rise up. If you're watching right now on our Falcons stream, spam ATL. If you're watching on our Broncos stream, spam DEN. Let's see which one can get more in the chat. Falcons fans or Broncos fans? We're going to have a lot of fun over the next few hours hanging out. Randy with a $1 super chat. Appreciate you, Randy. Hope you're having a wonderful NFL draft. Dave Joseph, y'all hit that like button straight up. Let's see. We have 54 likes right now on our Falcons channel, 53 on our Broncos channel. Race to 100?
We can do that.
Both are under 50 away. Who can get to 100 likes first? Broncos channel or the Falcons channel? For any new viewers, we're having a simulcast as I cover our Falcons channel and our Broncos channel, which is usually not an issue except for 3 days of the year, I'd say. These 3 days. Yep. So we're going to be having a lot of fun together. It's going to be a blast. It's the NFL draft. Buckle up. Broncos channel is at 82 likes. Falcons at 75. I feel like an auctioneer right now.
Yeah, I know.
Let's see who's going to get there first.
Let's get it.
79 for Falcons. Still at 88 now for Broncos. 12 away for Denver. Atlanta's 21 away. Who's going to get to 100 first? 88 right now for Denver. 79 for Atlanta. Can we get a push? Oh, Atlanta's within 4. Denver up to 92. 92 to 84. Falcons trailing. 94 for the Broncos. 88 for the Falcons. Denver is 6 points away. 6 likes to go until 100 for Denver. Falcons is at 90, and the Broncos just crossed 100. Let's go.
Broncos came correct.
Broncos won the first battle. I suspect there will be a lot more, though.
There will be a lot.
There will be a lot more. Right now, Falcons is winning the Super Chat battle. at $40 compared to the Broncos at $14.94. So this is definitely not the first win of the night.
Yeah.
Now, if you are ready for the draft to start, as we are less than 40 minutes away, spam go in the comment section. Let's start spamming go. Here we go. Oh, I like this from Broncos Prods. Incomplete. I've got Carson spamming go. Savage Falcon. Michael Montoya, longtime viewer. Good to see you. Trent as well. David Hicks, Mango. Ty Man the Buckeye. Let's see. Dave Joseph, Owen. Ben 9, AJ Man.
Matthew Peterson.
Matthew Petey fan. Not my mom. If it is my mom, I'll be embarrassed. 'Cause I did ask. And she's like, I don't know how to change my name on YouTube. I was like, that checks out. Okay. I don't think she has any idea.
That's fair. But whoever it is, we greatly appreciate it. And we appreciate everybody spamming those. Look at all those goes. They are so ready for NFL draft coverage. We are less than 40 minutes away.
Here we go.
Oh, my goodness.
Octavio Rodriguez is here. Johnny Karozowski. ATL fan, Isaiah Jones. I feel like today is everyone's, all the MVPs of the channels are represented right now.
Yeah, they are.
Like, everyone knows it's time to dial in and get ready.
This is Chat Sports Christmas in a way.
Hey, I love the draft. I really, really do love the draft. I love the draft because, one, I think the overall concept of sitting on your couch, sitting in the green room, and the Seahawks are on the clock, and if they take you, you're moving to Seattle, and you're going to make a lot of money too. Or if they don't take you, the next team is Buffalo. Like, just the complete change of emotions from pick to pick.
Yep.
I would not want to be a top 5 pick in the draft. Can I tell you why?
Why would you say that?
Because I think part of the fun is not knowing where you're going. If you know that you're the second or first overall pick,
Yeah.
like, you don't have the fun of like, ooh, I could be a Bear. I
Yeah.
could be a Bill, a Cardinal, a Falcon, a Bronco. Like, I think it's fun to be like, I was the 19th overall pick in the draft. Could have gone anywhere from 10 to 25.
I'm not going to lie. I would be the opposite. I would, be so ready to just, because at the moment, you're just sitting there waiting.
Yeah, I know.
And you're just sitting there, the camera's on you the whole time, and especially if you fall. Because you're, say you're projected to be a top 5 pick, and then you're just sitting there falling, and the camera's just keeping closer, closer,
I'll say
closer.
this. I would not answer my phone from the coach. I would want to find out via the commissioner.
That's fair.
I think that'd be a pretty cool way to hear your name and know, oh my God.
Yeah.
It's like I won the 50-50 raffle.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, I was 2 numbers off last month.
2?
It is still keeping me up at night.
Damn.
I would not be here right now. I would take my very lump sum of $75,000 and retire. Okay. So, we got some goes coming in. Love to see it. Let's run through my mock draft, shall we?
Let's do that.
Let's check out what I project is going to happen, picks 1 through 32. I made this mock draft 2 or 3 days ago, and I'm standing by it. I'll tell you that if I were to tinker, where I would tinker, but for now, I want to stand by the original predictions I had. So without further ado, let's look at my mock draft. I have obviously Caleb Williams, and then I fully expect Jaden Daniels to be pick number 2. I did not forecast a Patriots trade down, and it looks like they are going to stay at number 3 and take Drake May. Now, this next one is open for debate. I think the Vikings are going to trade up with either the Cardinals at 4 or the Chargers at 5. For this mock, I've got them doing it with the Chargers at 4, who then I have Arizona doing exactly what they did last year, trading back up and getting Marvin Harrison still. I think the Giants stay put and wait for Malik Neighbors. The Titans and Falcons go chalk. Tennessee, Joe Alt. I know there's been a recent surge in buzz for Atlanta surrounding Byron Murphy and Latu. I think the pick will still be Dallas Turner. At number 9, I've got the Bears going with Rome Odunze. There has been some chatter about them going offensive line. I don't mind there's 2 starting tackles, Braxton Jones and Darnell Wright. I think both of them are competent starters. There are some really good tackles in this class that could tempt Ryan Poles, though. At number 10, I've got Brock Bowers going to the Jets. New York does not have a second rounder. They could trade back to get back into round 2 and let a team like the Rams jump up to get a star offensive tackle. But for now, I'll have them stay put and go with a very surefire pick in my eyes of Brock Bowers. The Chargers, after making some trades with the Cardinals, they get Olu Fashanu at pick 11. I know there's been a recent surge in J.C. Latham, and sometimes on draft day when there's smoke, there's fire, but I'll stick with my gut and go with Olu to the Chargers. At 12, I've got the Rams trading up to get a Marius Mims, an absolute athletic freak, not a lot of experience, but I don't know if he has to go to LA and start immediately, which I think could benefit both parties. At 13, I've got the Raiders going with Quinion Mitchell, the DB from Toledo. That Raiders defense could use a little bit of a surge in the secondary. I think Mitchell could be a great plug-and-play starter for them. The Saints need offensive tackle. They are just going to wait and see who the best lineman available is at their spot. At 15, I think the Colts go Terrion Arnold, although they are very interested in wide receivers. So maybe a Brian Thomas would lure them. At 16, I've got the Seahawks going Byron Murphy. Their interior defensive line needs some help, and Murphy, by a lot of accounts, is the number one interior defensive tackle in this class. But personally, I would go with Illinois' Drazan Newton. At 17, I have Jacksonville taking Brian Thomas. They lose Calvin Ridley in free agency, and then I see them replacing that with Brian Thomas. At 18, Bengals have to replace DJ Reader, and they get that with Illinois' interior pass rusher Newton. Broncos trading back from 12 to 19, scoop up Latu to bring some extra pass rush to the Mile High country. At 20, I've got the Steelers going Troy Fautanu. I know there's been a recent surge in buzz for Graham Barton, the tackle/guard/center from Duke, but I ultimately think he'll be a Dallas Cowboy. At 21, how about Jared Verse to Miami? Dolphins lost a lot of key pass rushers in free agency. This is a good opportunity to re-up at that spot. If a team does trade up that I don't have, it could be the Eagles at 22. But for now, how about they just resupply their DB room with Cooper DeJean, who can also help out on special teams. At 23, the Chargers are on the clock after making some deals, and I could see them adding a guy like Kool-Aid McKinstry to re-support that secondary room in LA. At 24, the Cowboys are obviously going offensive line because that's what they do every single year, and they go with another versatile player like Graham Barton, similar to their Tyler Smith pick out of Tulsa not long ago. At 25, I've got J.C. Latham going to the Green Bay Packers. He will step in and replace David Bakhtiari immediately. At 26, I've got the Bucks taking Jackson Powers Johnson. Baker Mayfield is a new starting center after their previous one retired. 27, I've got the Chiefs leapfrogging the Bills to get A.D. Mitchell. That way Buffalo can't get him, who in return takes speedster Xavier Worthy. So all Josh Allen has to do is just chuck it down somewhere. Chuck it down sometime there. At 29, I've got the Lions going with Nate Wiggins, Clemson cornerback. They traded for a cornerback in free agency, Carlton Davis from the Bucks, but I could still see them adding another DB and going wide receiver in day 2. I have the Ravens taking Ladd McConkey. The former Georgia Bulldogs offensive coordinator is now the Ravens offensive coordinator, and that to me seems like a pretty good fit. 31, the 49ers address their only need, offensive line, and after making a deal with the Chiefs, the Cardinals end the draft, and they get Kyler Murray a new starting center in Zach Frazier. Now, we're going to hit all your Super Chats in just a moment, but first, a shout-out to our sponsor today. Support for today's live show comes in from our friends at Game Time. Spring is here, which means we have baseball, playoff basketball, hockey, and so many other great sporting events, concerts, and I don't want you to miss out on any of the fun because of ticket prices. With Game Time, you can get killer last-minute deals and all-in prices for all the big events. There's nothing more frustrating than spending time searching for the best ticket prices, which is why you should give Game Time a shot. They have flash deals, zone deals, and the lowest price guarantee. In fact, if you download the Game Time app right now and use code CHATSPORTS, you'll get $20 off your first purchase. I love that Game Time gives you a view from your seat before you purchase your tickets, so there are no surprises when you show up. Plus, hidden fees suck, but Game Time gives you an all-in price option, so you really know how much the tickets are going to cost. It's the best place to find last-minute seats. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code Chat Sports for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply, but use that code CHAT Sports for $20 off. Download Game Time today. Last-minute tickets, lowest price guaranteed. Before we check out Tom Downey's big board, I do want to catch up on some super chats from our awesome viewers as Sam BBM sends, "Evening, Matt and Broncos country. I think the Broncos will trade up into the top 3 and take a punter. This would be the Raiders if that was the case. JK, regardless, though, I hope this draft gets the Broncos back to winning ways. Go Broncos. Appreciate you, Sam. Thank you so much. The best punter in this draft, I know his name. I'm not going to remember it. But, no. There's not even really that good of a kicker, actually, in this year's draft. I think Michigan has a really good kicker, actually. But I'm not going to act like I remember all the kicker and punter names. So I don't think we'll see any special teamers go kicker or punter-wise. But I do think you may see some gadget guys go early in the draft. I know this is what you were asking, Sam. But players like Anaya Smith from Texas A&M, Tulu Griffin from Mississippi State, they may go a whole round earlier because of their kick return abilities, and that is a point of emphasis with the new rule change. Sam, best of luck. Appreciate you supporting the channel. Go Broncos, dude. Randy with a $1 super chat. Randy, just chipping away, Randy. I love it. We got Let Ride with a $2 super chat. Let Ride, Broncos country. That is dead. So there's no more of the Let's Ride. Good luck, Steelers fans, with that. Here's the thing with the Russell Wilson experience. It is honestly a great time up until the game starts. But during the offseason, when Denver traded for him, March, and everyone watching can agree, March to September was the most optimistic fan base I'd ever seen in Denver. Am I wrong? And then went downhill real fast. Let Ride, appreciate you. We got another one from Let Ride. Remember me from last week. What was last week? I don't remember last week, Let Ride. You got to help me out. I don't know. From the Zach Wilson trade? I don't know. But Let Ride, thank you so much, dude. We got Booger. Oh, I love Booger. Bring back the Booger Mobile. ESPN was at its peak when you had Booger, Joe Tessitore, and what's his face? Jason Witten on Monday Night Football together. That was the peak of ESPN broadcasting. Now, what I want to do next is I want to run through our NFL draft expert here at Chat Sports, Tom Downey. He is our Mel Kiper, if you will, and who his best available players are. So here's how he ranks them. He's got Marvin Harrison and Malik Neighbors coming in at 1 and 2, Caleb Williams at 3, Joe Alt at 4. Let's spend just a second on Joe Alt. He played a lot of left tackle at Notre Dame, but there is a growing concern in the NFL community that tackles can't make the switch from left to right as easy as maybe fans or even coaches or GMs think they can. So will a team take Joe Alt if they already have a left tackle? Roma Dunze, Drake May, and Brock Bowers follow suit. You got Olu Fushanu at number 8, Talisi Fuaga, and then Dallas Turner, followed by Quinyon Mitchell. Have you guys noticed a trend? We didn't get to our first defensive player until number 10 with Dallas Turner. This draft is loaded at 3 positions specifically: quarterback, wide receiver, and offensive tackle. After that, I would probably go with corner, but it is a big drop-off after those 3. After Mitchell, you got Troy Fatanu, Graham Barton, Amarius Mims, Johnny Newton, and then Byron Murphy. I like Johnny Newton more than Byron Murphy as well. I know there's been a lot of recent chatter that Murphy could crack the top 10. I would be surprised by that. Sure, he's a really good athlete, but he's also sub 300 pounds and only has 1 year of starting experience. To me, that just doesn't scream top 10. That screams first round. Broncos fan 0-0, trade down and get a QB in round 2. That's simple. I don't disagree, Broncos fan. That's exactly what I had Denver doing in my final mock draft. I will just add, it does take 2 to trade. So you do have to find someone that wants the 12th overall pick so bad, they'll give you their round 2 pick. I think that could happen in this year's draft, but don't act like it's just a guaranteed lock. Broncos fan, appreciate you. Colin, let's put on the updated Super Chat numbers between Broncos Breakdown and Falcons today, as we've already had one race be won by Broncos Country in the race to 100 likes. We are now racing to 200 likes. Broncos Breakdown's at 145 likes. Falcons today is at 106. If you're just tuning in, we got two streams going on at the same time as I cover both the Broncos and the Falcons for us here at Chat Sports. And the hope and goal is in the few years from now, we'll have enough hosts for all 32 NFL teams. But for now, give me more football. I love football. I'll give some shout-outs while we get that up, as Shaylin Spinda is in the chat. Shaylin, one of the biggest Falcons fans on this side of the Mississippi. Appreciate you tuning in. I know you've been just locked in for that number 8 overall pick. We've got Boomstick saying Daddy Dallas. Owen's in the chat right now saying draft Odunze, trade our second for Trey Hendrickson. Owen, I don't think drafting Rome Odunze is a bad idea for any team. I just think that highly of Odunze as a prospect. I know that everyone's a can't-miss prospect in every year's draft, but I really want to double down that you're just not going to miss with Rome. You could miss with other guys, but if you had to make a pick that you knew was going to be a Pro Bowler in the future, Rome Odunze would be my selection. Clayton Anderson with a $10 super chat. What do you think about Trey Hendrickson? Swap trades with the Bengals, but we get a second and maybe a third in this draft. So you're suggesting, Clayton, that Atlanta and Cincinnati swap 8 and 18, and in exchange for going back 10 spots, the Falcons get Trey Hendrickson and a second or a third? I don't think the Bengals would do that. Cincinnati is in a bit of a predicament, though, because they are right up against the NFL draft. If they trade Trey Hendrickson after the draft, that, in my eyes, would be a monumental failure. Not only do you not have Trey Hendrickson for 2024, you don't have a draft pick that you could use on a player to replace Hendrickson for 2024. It's almost like being down 2 players instead of just 1. So if they don't forecast an ability to extend Hendrickson, I think they're going to trade either T. Higgins or Trey Hendrickson. Atlanta should be on the phone and asking what it would cost to get Hendrickson. I think you could get Trey Hendrickson for a 3rd-round pick, though. That, to me, seems in the market. Maybe a second, but pick 43 is in the earlier stages of round 2. It's a top 50 pick. So maybe there's a little bit going back to Atlanta if they give up pick 43. Scott Fry, what's going on? Petey, enjoy for effing pancakes. Wait a minute. What am I missing out on here? Pancakes? We're having pancakes? Oh my goodness. This is referencing. I'm embarrassed, actually. This is a draft day reference. We live in a different world we did a few minutes ago, Tom.
Yeah.
You pancake eating motherfucker. Scott, thank you very much for your super chat. Chocolate chip pancakes. That's the go-to. We're 20 minutes away from the kickoff of the NFL Draft. We're going to try and boost the like numbers a little bit here. We have, 156 likes currently for the Broncos Breakdown, 120 for our Falcons Today channel. Only a difference of 37 likes right now between the two. The Broncos Country give themselves a lead, or can the Dirty Birds climb their way back into this shootout?
Yeah.
Scott, I'm honestly upset with myself that I didn't get that immediately.
Yeah.
That's embarrassing for me, as I watched the movie last night.
Also, too, can we get to 500 likes?
500, yeah. Well,
by the time that we hit the NFL Draft, I think we can get up to 500 likes.
Yeah.
We got 2 channels in here today.
2 channels combined, getting us to 246 at the moment. Can we get ourselves up to 500 likes? Hit the thumbs up button if you haven't already. It takes a quarter of a second, and it actually does a lot to help boost the stream here to other fans of these teams so that YouTube recommends us to them. Then we get more subscribers, we get more studio space. And someone earlier in the chat said it sounds like I'm in a bar right now. I kind of am. Full transparency, this is a green screen behind me. There's actually a big green wall right behind me.
Kind of what is behind me.
Which behind Colin.
Yep.
And on the other side of that green wall is our Raiders report. And that's a bar. That is an absolute circus. Yeah. More subscribers, we get to be more of a circus like the Raiders channel. So hit the thumbs up button if you haven't already.
Also, speaking of draft day, let's get the chat rolling.
Yeah.
Do you like the movie Draft Day?
Oh.
Type Y for yes, type N for no.
A tradition unlike any other. Draft day.
Draft Day.
I love it. Someone's wearing a Wazurike jersey at the draft right now. I repeat, there is a Broncos fan wearing a Yome Wazurike as you hear the gong from the Raiders channel go off behind me. That was Denver's 4th or 5th round pick 2 years ago, who was suspended indefinitely for gambling.
Mm-hmm.
I need to know how that guy got a Wazurike jersey.
That's freaking awesome.
Also, speaking of the movie Draft Day, I do love the flyover shots when they do the drone flying of the Bills Stadium, the Chiefs Stadium, the Browns and Seahawks.
Yeah.
There's been no advertisement of this draft being in Detroit, I feel like.
Mm-hmm.
Even people that follow the NFL had no idea it was in Detroit.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why, but the league has not had any interest in promoting that the draft this year is in Detroit. Am I wrong? Or have you two been I'll be honest, hadn't seen it until today.
A lot of Y's in the chat. I'm going to give a couple of shout-outs here while Petey takes a drink. Shout out to Ty Man, Jackson, David, Matthew Petey fan, showing the love. Barry, Octavio, Ty Man, just Man Andrews.
Yeah.
Lazy, JK Racing, Sensational. We got a lot of people spam those Y's if you're a fan of Movie Draft Day. Petey, you said it's one of your favorite traditions.
It's a tradition that I love, that I don't take pride in loving.
Yeah.
It's a little bit I don't think it's actually like anything else. The movie's not good, and you would catch me dead watching it in July.
Right.
But on a Wednesday in April, I will watch Draft Day. Guaranteed.
Draft Day.
It's they need to make a Draft Day too. I think that would actually hit.
Yeah.
It's such a joke now.
Yeah.
That I think there's a big market, an audience for it.
I would agree.
Football fans would gravitate towards it.
They 100% would.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Petey, let's see.
Should we do that?
What we got planned up? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So, we've got a pinned tweet here. If you follow Matthew Petey, which is, like I said, at Matthew, 2 T's, not one. No psychopaths over here. Matthew Petey on Twitter. He's got a pinned tweet for tonight's live stream. If you go ahead and retweet our pinned tweet, he's gonna put it in both chats. We're gonna give some shout outs.
Shout outs if you go ahead and retweet my pinned retweet or my pinned tweet, which is just promoting our stream that we're having right now. I'll be giving shout outs to everyone that goes ahead and does that. So it's a great way to help boost the channel. Carson Wells with a retweet. CB with the retweet. Appreciate you both. And if you like the content I tweet out, feel free to follow me as well as we get some walkout introductions. If I was in the draft, by the way, I would 100% go to the draft.
Yes.
The idea of watching it at home.
I understand the nostalgia with your family and stuff, but I want to be there.
I want to be there. I want to walk on the stage.
Same.
That seems too fun to pass on.
I want to give a Goodell a really hard back slap when I give him a hug.
Randy Megara with a retweet. Gasman following me. Appreciate you both. Thank you very much. We got some super chats flying in. We'll get to those in a moment. But go ahead and retweet my pinned tweet that I just put in there. Oh, boy. We got Godly Z in the chat, baby. Give me Latu. Appreciate you, Godly Z. John Pasmino with the follow. Thank you. Jason White with the retweet as well. Let's get this stream we're having as big as possible. Okay. Darius Robinson, the Missouri edge rusher, is at the draft. I don't think that was a good idea. I don't think he goes round 1.
That may not be the great idea. I think it's also one of those
There's not
things.
a lot of good. There's not a lot of good pass rushers. So maybe a team reaches, and that's how he goes round 1.
I also think like you said, it's a once in a lifetime opportunity. Like he's never going to get drafted again, so you might as well show up.
Dallas Turner, rocking the green suit. Some NFL rumors I want to hit on super quickly. Oh, A.J. Brown extension. A.J. Brown extension, 3-year, $96 million.
Wow.
3-year, $96 million extension for A.J. Brown. That includes $84 million guaranteed. So it's basically a 3-year, $84 million contract. But for now, we'll do the exact number of 96 divided by 3. $32 million a season.
That's the highest
paid. That makes
paid.
A.J. Brown the highest paid wide receiver.
Holy crap.
Once again, A.J. Brown, 3-year, $96 million extension with the Philadelphia Eagles. His last contract gave him $25 million a season.
Mm-hmm.
Now he gets an extra $96 million and 82 guaranteed.
Yep.
Wow. I'm a little surprised that the Eagles did this 20 minutes before the draft.
Yep.
Or maybe just announced it. But don't
Right.
you think they'd be a little preoccupied at the moment?
You would think.
Kind of makes me wonder when that really got done. Okay. Other shout-outs if you retweeted me. We got a handful of retweets coming in here. Repost. I've got Mike Mueller. I've got Jason White, Gasman, Randy, Carson Wells, CB. And then I got Antone WCKM. Appreciate all of you guys for helping me out, boosting my Twitter coverage. Go ahead, click the link that's in the chat right now, and hit me up on Twitter if you ever want to talk NFL or anything under the sun related to pigskin. Clayton Anderson with a $2 super chat. Vonte Mack, Falcons rise up. I wonder what Vonte Mack's player comp would have been. I think he would have been like a Devin White.
Okay.
And I think Devin White at the time made sense at pick 5. He was really good coming out of LSU.
Yeah, he was one of my favorite prospects.
Yeah. Don't
Coming
think that the Bucs would necessarily do it all over again.
Yep.
Although Devin White was instrumental in their Super Bowl run.
Yep.
So maybe they would still for the one soupy. I would if I was them. If it meant like he was a difference maker.
Yep.
But I think Vonte Mack was Devin White. The Big Shot Agenda, longtime viewer. Good to see you. Happy Draft Day, Falcons fans. Rise up. Should the Falcons trade back and draft Quinyon Mitchell to beef up that secondary? I don't hate this. Like, if that actually were to happen, I wouldn't be having a temper tantrum if I was, like, that would, to me, wouldn't be, like, a bad move if I was Atlanta. I like Terry and Arnold a smidge more, but I like that Mitchell can play a lot more positions on defense. And as offenses go to a lot of 3 wide receiver sets, that means you got to have 3 reliable starting corners. I think the day and age of having 2 starting corners is slow. Actually, not even slowly. It's pretty quickly dying. And Quinyon Mitchell can help you out inside or outside. Arnold is just an outside corner. Big Shot Agenda. If that happens, I definitely would not have any qualms with it. Jose Herrera Bear. Trade back. Must get D-line sweat. Wide receiver Johnny Wilson. I don't know who these people are.
Well, so, okay.
Roman Wilson?
T'Vondre Sweat from Texas.
Okay.
Defensive lineman.
Okay, that makes sense.
And then Johnny Wilson, the wide receiver tight end hybrid from Florida State.
Okay.
So he's saying...
I saw wide receiver Wilson. Like, do you mean Roman Wilson?
And he's saying that for the Broncos, or at least he's in the Broncos.
Yes, that makes sense. Okay. T'Vondre Sweat, I saw D-line Sweat's like, edge rush? He got arrested for that DWI, and there are a lot of character concerns, and I know that's probably the last thing he wants people talking about when it comes to his name on the day of the NFL draft, but that's definitely going to cost him a few slots in the draft. But if you're the Broncos, I think you can take that risk because your run defense was so awful last year that all the attention has been on the quarterback, and understandably so. Defensive tackle should not be very far behind in Denver's biggest needs. Mm-hmm. They could not stop a nosebleed last year.
Right.
So if they can get Sweat in rounds 3 or 4, I don't hate it. Scott Fry with another super chat. Every year, someone comes out looking like a donkey. I just don't understand how the Seahawks, with the first overall pick in the draft, on draft day, I know it's just for the movie, woke up and decided, we should trade the pick.
Yeah.
Has any team traded pick number 1 within 2 weeks of the draft? I don't think so.
I don't think so.
The Bears traded it in March.
Right.
Other notable trades.
Remember, the Rams trade up with who for Goff?
They traded up with the Titans.
I don't remember how long that was.
That was in 2016.
Yeah.
They traded up with the Titans for pick number 1.
Titans.
Right?
I'm going to fact check right here.
And one of those picks turned into
so that was
Derrick
on
Henry.
So that was on April 14th.
Was it April 14th?
April 14th.
Look,
On
damn,
April 14th
okay.
in 2016,
But
the Rams
like,
sent their first round pick, 2 second round picks, a third round pick, a 2017 first round pick, a 2017 third-round pick to the Titans in exchange for the number 1 overall pick, a 4th-round pick, and a 6th-round pick.
Yeah, okay.
So,
about 10 days before the draft, probably.
Yeah, that's roughly a round.
Yeah, still draft day.
Also,
Will
breaking news.
Hensley with a $5 super chat. What's going on, Will?
Yeah.
Falcons better take Dallas Turner. I think that there's just some overall fatigue from the fan base that all they've heard for the last 3 months is Dallas Turner's a Falcon. So as we inch near the draft, there could be some smoke screens from Flowery Branch of, we may not go Dallas Turner just to kind of spice things up a little bit. But I ultimately think it's a good pick. It's the safe-ish pick. You need pass rushing help. He's the best edge rusher in this draft class. I think Atlanta should take Dallas Turner. Like, my big board for the Falcons at 8 is Rome Odunze, Malik Neighbors, then Dallas Turner. I think Neighbors is gone. Odunze will be tempting, but I think Raheem Morris is going to want to make a flip to the defensive side of the football with their first-round pick compared to the last 3 selections they've made. Will, thank you for the super chat, dude. Really appreciate it. Clayton Anderson, Falcons, you guys are transcending this Falcons fan base. Keep doing what you're doing. Rise up. Clayton, you're the man. Everyone spam Clayton in the chat.
Spam it up.
Little 2-clap action for Clayton. Little 1-2. Let's go, Clayton. That's what I'm talking about. Clayton fucks. He gets it.
Yeah,
he's in here, and he's just on his best and worst behavior all at once. I love it, Clayton. We got a super chat rolling in from Scott Fry. Let's round out on all the super chats before the start of the NFL Draft. I'm hoping Jared Verse falls and the Broncos snag him. Not a bad pick for Denver. I don't think they're picking 12, though. I'm pretty confident that they are going to trade out of pick 12. But Jared Verse at pick 19, I like Verse more than Latu. So, Scott, you don't have to twist my arm. Should we throw up the updated Super Chat battle numbers?
Super Chat battle? Okay.
Yeah, we got...
unfortunately, here, hold on. We got one more Super Chat.
One more Super Chat, and then you want to put the totals in?
I can't see some of the totals still for the Falcons.
Okay. It's right here. Scroll over.
Oh. Ah!
Now scroll down.
There it is. Okay, cool.
There you
I'll
go.
update that in just a second.
Yep.
Appreciate it. Complete the states with a Super Chat.
It won't be Dallas Turner. Right after Will Hensley's Complete the States, our friend from the UK. I think it's going to be Dallas Turner. It has to be Dallas Turner. If it's not Dallas Turner, I'm in trouble. We could be in a pickle if it's not Dallas Turner. Okay. We got Austin in the chat, Shadow in the chat, Country in the chat, Eric, AJ Man, Mark, Dre Bell, Aaron, AJ Man's here. Good to see you, dude. Michael, Travis, some random creep. That was a very random message in the chat. Okay. YouTube chat sections will do that to you. If you stare at them too long, you're going to come out of there with a lot of weird thoughts and questions. Less than 6 minutes to go. If you are ready for the NFL Draft, like the video. Broncos Breakdown, 5 likes away from 200. Falcons today is 44 likes away. So let's get to 200 likes on both of our concurrent streams at the moment, and that way we can get into the NFL Draft with good mojo for both ends. We got 196 for the Broncos. We'll update these numbers for you guys, and 161 for the Falcons. Atlanta's 39 away. Denver is 4 away from 200 likes. Yep. 202 likes for the Broncos Breakdown. Let's go. Falcons today at 165. Can they make a comeback? People are talking. I'm excited for the draft, though. I really can't remember the last draft where there was so much intrigue and just, I think, like openness to what could happen in the top 10. I know this may feel like that every single draft, but this year especially, it does feel like either a lot of chaos is going to happen, or it'll be like all the mock drafts with Joe Alt to the Titans, Turner to the Falcons, and Dunze to the Bears. But I think we're going to see a handful of trades. I've got a trade feeling in the works. Rion, I see your super chat. We'll throw it on in just a few minutes. Don't go anywhere. Moses, man, I missed the lives here. Moses will be live once the season gets going. So we are having a super chat battle. We have 2 different streams going on at the same time as I host both our Falcons and Broncos channels here at Chat Sports. Falcons up to 72 Buccaneros in Super Chat dollars, and the Broncos Breakdown up to 39. So Denver has won the like battle. Atlanta is winning the Super Chat battle. There's only one third event to this, the chat. Who can spam more in the chat? Spam ATL if you're a Falcons fan. Spam DEN if you're a Broncos fan. We're going to see which chat is moving the fastest, and that may be the rubber match.
It might be.
Yeah, start spamming ATL if you're a Falcons fan, DEN if you're a Broncos fan. Right now, I got to give the edge to Falcons fans. That chat is moving a lot quicker than the Broncos chat is. Copy and paste it to your friend. Start spamming. Let's go. Definitely favoring Atlanta, but here comes Broncos country, and just like that, Broncos country takes the lead. Wow. We're going to have a fun battle all night long.
Yeah, we are.
This is definitely not a race. It is a marathon. As a $50 Super Chat rolls in. From a first-time Super Chatter by my looks, too, we've got Eric Lannis. And we got some very subtle shit-talking going on. Are they winning?
Oh.
Not anymore. It is now 89 to 76 in favor of Broncos Breakdown. I will give the chat win to the Falcons today's show. ATL is moving a little bit quicker, but just like that, it's 2-1 Broncos country because they got the likes and they've got the Super Chat battle. But Clayton Anderson's not giving up. We're going to have a lot of fun here. We're also 2.5 minutes away from the start of the 2024 NFL Draft. And once we get there, don't worry, we're going to put our hair up.
Yep.
We're going to put on our tuxedos from Step Brothers, and we're going to be ready.
You want to hit a sponsor read real quick?
Yeah, sure. Let's. Eric, first off, thank you for your Super Chat. Little 2-clap action.
Rep.
Little 1-2. Let's go, Eric. Now, before we get to the start of the NFL Draft, I'm going to do us and you a favor and knock out the sponsor read before it all starts. Today's show is sponsored by Game Time. If you are trying to get tickets to a local sporting event or concert, whether it's a playoff basketball or hockey game or anything else under the sun, get started with Game Time today because they're going to give you killer last-minute deals and all-in prices for all the big events. When you download the Game Time app, you can get $20 off your first purchase when you use code CHATSPORTS. Now, personally, I love that Game Time gives you an option to do all-in price right from the jump. That way you don't spend 15, 20 minutes going through an entire checkout process just to see that the ticket price doubles with all the taxes and fees. But with Game Time, you don't have to worry about that. They'll tell you what the all-in price is right from the start. So download Game Time today. It's the best place to find last-minute seats. When you download the app, create an account and use code CHATSPORTS for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply, but again, create an account and redeem code CHAT Sports for $20 off. I put all that information in the comments, in the chat, and description of today's video. Download Game Time today. Last minute tickets, lowest price guaranteed. Rion with our next Super Chat here as Falcons today has retaken the lead, by the way, in the Super Chat battle. I'm thinking Falcons trade back 1 to 2 spots, get an edge or wide receiver. Final answers. 1 to 2 spots are comfortable with the least amount risk losing top choices. I would love to sit down with the GM, pick his brain, but I'd love to ask him, hey, if you love a player at, say, 10, but you think he'll be there at 16, would you risk moving back 6 spots for an extra third-round pick, or does the risk not outweigh the reward in that situation? My suspicion is if a team likes a player, loves a player at their currently scheduled spot, they're not going to be pressed to move off of it for the 78th overall pick in the draft. They're not going to risk that type of loss. But if they don't love a guy, then maybe they'd be open to it. Rion, appreciate your Super Chat, though. We'll have to wait and see whether or not Atlanta stays put at 8. Randy, next one up. A little something for the drunk episode. Will Cullen be joining you? Verse, baby. Cullen, do you want to join me? By the way, you guys act like this is a done deal already. Dallas Turner's still a pick. I'm still confident. I'm also happy that, by the way, the punishment was a drunk episode. It could have been a lot worse.
It could have been.
It could have been like working out. which maybe would have been better for me, actually.
Yeah.
But that would have been miserable.
Here's the thing. We'll see what happens.
It happens.
We'll see.
It happens.
In terms of Willie joining, we'll see. It's got to work out.
Cole might be the camera guy.
I might be.
It'd be a very shaky camera.
I'm about to say it might be a
that
producer
sounded
only.
really weird, actually. Don't be the camera. I just heard that myself. Don't. Colin will not be joining. Actually, I'll say that. No.
Going to $10 super chat from It's Mike Days.
Yeah, it's Mike Days. $10 super chat. Appreciate you, Mr. Days, and the cat from Shrek. I'm blanking on its name. Puss in Boots.
Puss in Boots.
Yeah. What's the actor's name that voices that?
That's a
Spanish name. I can't remember it. Clayton Anderson. Let's go Falcons. Spam W for Falcons. We've got a nice little friendly little war going on here. It's like the French and Indian War. No one knows which side anyone's really on, but right now Falcons and Broncos are kind of going at it here as we're doing a simulcast.
I'm not going to lie. I'm looking at both numbers. It's pretty close for both. I will say
Broncos dominating in likes.
Broncos dominating the likes, but Falcons winning the chat.
Yeah.
Super chats. So
it'll come down to supers, I think.
It might.
It might come down to supers.
It might.
Clayton, appreciate you. Rob, next one up. Rob Carbone. F those Broncos. Rise up. Dallas Turner, 100%. I won't condone the first part of the message, but I do condone the last part. Dallas Turner is a Falcon. I think all of you, by the way, all right, show of hands. How many of you deep down want Dallas Turner because you think he'd be a good player, but even further deep down, you don't want them to pick Dallas Turner, so I do a drunk episode?
It's a little bit of both.
I think that's a big chunk of the fan base.
It's a little bit of both.
Yeah.
I got to say. Shout out to Eric Landis.
Eric Landis, by the way, a recent surge from the Broncos Breakdown. They have retaken the lead in the Super Chat battle by 6 USD.
Now they're winning both.
I do think that Denver trades down and solidifies wide receiver core, but they could look QB as well. Either way, I'm excited to see what goes down. This is a really good wide receiver draft class, Eric. I think there are going to be receivers that go in round 3 of this year's draft that are guys that will get second contracts from the team that drafts them. Like if Denver wants to go trade back, get a defensive player in round 1, quarterback in round 2, say Bo Nix, I think a pick 75 in round number 3, they could get a Jermaine Burton, a Javon Baker. And those are guys that I think in other years would have gone round 2. But because there are 3 wide receivers in this year's draft that in different years would have been the consensus number 1 wide receiver, everyone's getting pushed back a little bit. Eric, appreciate you. Scott Fry, next one up. Super Chat is just like Super Bowl 33. The Broncos win again. There it is. Now the claws come out. It's Mike Days. Hey, Eric. Mike Days, we'll put it on screen for you. We got to keep this up. And yes, his name is Puss. This camera fits him well. Hashtag Broncos country. I like that there's friendships being formed right now between Eric and Mike. They didn't know that they'd find love in the draft section, but here they are.
Here they are.
Rian from the Falcons Today side of things. Falcons run the South. That's quite a phonetic way of spelling a Dunze. Turner, Latu, whoever, win the draft, we win the South. Do you even have to win the draft to win the South? I don't think anyone wants to win the South. Like that's kind of been its MO the last 2 or 3 years.
Right.
But Rian, hey, the draft, the South definitely wide open, and the draft could really help Atlanta solidify its spot at the top after signing Kirk Cousins. Which, by the way, I got into a bit of a Twitter tiff. Little tiff. I don't think it's any more than a tiff. With our Saints guy, Trace Gerard, he was trying to talk shit about Kirk Cousins and the Falcons. And I'm like, dude, don't throw stones if you live in a glass house. Derek Carr is your quarterback. And he's like, Derek Carr is making way less guaranteed money than Kirk Cousins. Mm-hmm. Kirk Cousins, if you were to move on from him after 3 years, $25 million dead cap hit. Oh. Derek Carr, after 3 years, $50 million. Huh.
Interesting.
I swear. I'm a very proud alum of the University of Tennessee. They do not stop calling asking for my money. And the crazy thing is, they know what I majored in. And they know how much that major makes. And they still think I'm the cash cow.
Yeah.
Sorry, UTK. Not happening. Isaiah Jones, ATL, rise up, baby. It is nearly neck and it's very close. Broncos with the lead, 143 to 132, so $11 or and change. Let's speed through all these super chats as the NFL Draft is about to get underway. Eric, next one up. You demand, Mike. We got this. We got a little Pippen Jordan action going on right here. A little Jamal Murray and Nikola Jokic. Nathan McKinnon and Cole McCare. Keenan Melvin. Next one up.
Yeah, it's
Brotherhood, Rise Up, or a new motto this year, ATL for life. Who cares about Denver?
Ooh.
This is getting a little feisty.
Tense.
I thought everyone would play nice in the sandbox. Eric, next one up. Yeah. Rise Up, ATL. Eric, appreciate you. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. Rob, you're on screen. I'm back, baby. Petey, if Dallas Turner is not picked, you shouldn't do a drunk episode while wearing a clown suit. I don't think I'll do the clown suit. Listen, can we stop planning the drunk episode until it actually even possibly happens? I'm not going to go through the logistics of it because I'm still maintaining the belief they're getting Dallas Turner. And when they pick Dallas Turner, I fully expect the viewership to plummet because everyone wants me to get drunk on the spot. They want me just to inject vodka straight into my veins. Rian, next one up. Sorry, iPads can't spell properly. It messes up. Understand. Oh, we're talking about Odunze. Yeah, don't worry, buddy. I minored in reading YouTube Super Chat typos. You are not the first, and you are not the last, my friend. Complete the states. Bronco fans should save their money for their moms. Okay, dude. STD treatments. Now Zach Wilson has come to town.
That is something. That is.
The good news is that Zach Wilson is a lot closer to his home in Salt Lake, and he can go hang out with all of his friends' moms over there. ATL for the win. That might be the mic drop. Okay.
Hold on. I got to update this.
Yep.
But
Roger Goodell, spam boo. Spam boo. Spam boo, everyone. A tradition unlike any other. The Masters and Roger Goodell. Boo. Spam boo. Spam boo. Spam boo. Is that Baker?
It is.
Is that Baker Mayfield?
That is.
Why is Baker out there?
I have no idea. That is a great question.
Is that Baker? No, it's not Baker.
Oh, that's Eminem.
That's Eminem.
Oh, my God.
It kind of looks like Baker with a beard
I
from
feel
behind.
so embarrassed right now.
No, it looks like Baker with a beard from behind. That's Marshall Mathers.
That's fair. All right.
Spam boo.
Spam those boos.
Eminem is on stage with Roger Goodell. Oh, Roger is such a little pussy. He brought on Eminem so that no one would boo him. Because then it would look like you were booing Eminem.
Now that Eminem's on, spam go!
Yeah.
Because we're ready for the draft.
Spam go.
Spam go.
Roger's getting tricky lately. He's going to bring a Make-A-Wish kid on next year.
Dude.
So no one can say a thing.
Oh, my goodness.
All right. Here we go.
Here we go, indeed.
We're actually like 10 minutes behind. Oh, Aiden Hutchinson. Okay. We got some previous picks here. Is that Calvin Johnson? Calvin Johnson. All the Lions legends coming on screen right now.
Also, hey, I said let's reach 500 likes before the draft starts. We're at currently 437.
Oh, we're so close.
Can we get to 63 more likes?
Vinegar strokes. Vinegar strokes, people.
Please. Please help us out with this like battle.
We got Jared Goff, Aiden Hutchinson, Calvin Johnson, a lot of Lions legends and current players on. Oh, and
we're getting close.
What's the running back?
We're at 245.
Barry something?
Barry Sanders.
Barry Sanders on screen.
Jared Goff.
This is so cringe.
This is
so cringe.
This is very
They're making them chant Jared Goff. Oh, this is so awkward.
This is very awkward.
Stop. I like Jared.
I don't like him as much right now.
But why? Don't do that. I don't think Jared wanted his name to be chanted.
I don't think so either.
That was so forced.
That was so uncomfortable. Oh,
I'm also fully convinced that if Aiden Hutchinson and Travon Walker went to the opposite college, they would have been different picks.
It would have been.
Like if Hutchinson went to Georgia, he would have been the pick for Jacksonville.
Yep.
And if Walker went to Michigan,
yep,
the Lions would have taken him.
Yep. currently at...
Okay.
I'll do the like count here in a second. But also, here's the thing. We're live on not only Falcons today, but also Broncos, right? So here we got our sub-counters for both.
Trying to get up to 21,000. Trying to get to 22,000.
It's a little race to 22,000 we got. So we got the Falcons right there, Broncos right there. Let's help each other out.
We got Bengals fans booing Goodell. Good. Boo Goodell. Boo Goodell.
Goodell.
The funny thing about booing Goodell is, like, sure, there's things you can hate on him for. He has made an absolute empire that is the National Football League.
He really has.
Like, it wasn't always this big.
Mm-hmm.
If he puts a game, he could invent a new day of the week. And we would all adhere to it if it meant more football. If he's like, you know what? Monday does not come after Sunday anymore. We want another day.
Yeah.
Call it Foot Day.
Yeah.
We're adjusting our calendars because of Goodell.
I mean, literally, he is...
Oh, the Chicago Bears are now on the clock. Let's go. The 2024 NFL Draft is underway. And the Bears, with the first overall pick via the Carolina Panthers, are expected to take Caleb Williams. And that is just a few ceremonial moments away, with the Bears having the first overall pick in the draft for the first time in 70-plus years.
Yep.
A long, proud, filled with rich history franchise, picking number one thanks to a trade with the Carolina Panthers, and Caleb Williams will be going to the Windy City. What do you guys think? Will Caleb Williams be a bust, or is he the real deal? I think he's the real deal. I think there's probably a little bit of fatigue because he's been the first overall pick for 2 straight years now.
Yep.
People are kind of getting bored and they want to invent reasons to not like Caleb. No, I think he is as surefire as they come, and I think the Bears are going to walk out of this draft with their new franchise quarterback. He'll be their first quarterback in franchise history to get to 4,000 passing yards. The real interesting part for Chicago starts at pick 9. Do they go offensive tackle? Do they go wide receiver? Do they go defense? Like Atlanta, they have an awful pass rush. But unlike Atlanta, they have at least one guy, Montez Sweat, as Caleb Williams is sitting in the green room scrolling on his pink phone. What could you be scrolling on your phone right now? He's leaning forward. Let's throw on Caleb Williams' scouting report and whatnot. We'll kind of run through all that good stuff. His stats, everything we've got. We're going to unload the clip for you all here.
Yep. Give us just
Caleb Williams, 5-star commit coming out of the D.C. area, followed Lincoln Riley, went to Oklahoma to play for Lincoln Riley, and then followed him to USC. And there's just no quarterback we've seen in college football who can make unexpected plays look so easy with incredible arm strength like Caleb Williams. Replaced Spencer Rattler, thank you, during the Red River Shootout with the Texas Longhorns. And ever since then, he's been the face of college football. Now, he's got incredible awareness, pocket mobility, as our Tom Downey-led scouting report points out here. Every once in a while, he can maybe be a little bit too risky and try to bite off more than he can chew. But I think when he gets to the NFL, he'll play with a little bit more structure. Don't worry about the numbers if you didn't test. Guilty of bypassing easy plays, as Towney puts down in his notes. Once we have the pick and whatnot, we'll run through his stats. But Dane Brugler from The Athletic, he does incredible breakdowns on all the top prospects. This is what he had to say on Caleb Williams. Williams needs to be more consistent working on schedule from the pocket, but you live with the hiccups because the positives are special with his dynamic passing skills and instinctive ability to create. So the unanimous first overall pick for the Chicago Bears will be announced any moment now, really, as they are still on the clock. The pick is not in technically, but there should be no reason to think otherwise here. Caleb Williams last year for the USC Trojans, throwing for 3,600 yards, 30 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. The wins were maybe not as big as USC and maybe the Bears were hoping for. Some unpredicted losses like to Washington and Notre Dame. But I really think that's the defense letting down Caleb Williams more than Williams ever letting down the Trojans. But a lot of key pieces being added to Chicago's offense recently. They went offensive tackle last year, Darnell Wright. They traded for DJ Moore, traded for Keenan Allen, get Caleb Williams, signed DeAndre Swift. A lot of investment has been made into Chicago's offense, and now it's going to have the greatest cherry on top with Caleb Williams coming to the Bears after trading Justin Fields to the Pittsburgh Steelers. So, as we wait the official announcement, I don't know why teams don't just do it immediately. We're halfway through the clock. Like, why are they making Caleb sweat it out? Or it's not even unique to the Bears. This happens every year, I feel like. Barry Brazil will catch up on some super chats real fast. Barry, the thin air in Denver got Broncos fans tripping. Go Falcons. The super chat battle, by the way, is only separated by $9 in favor of the Broncos breakdown. Barry, appreciate you. Next one up, we'll get all the super chats loaded up as Eric has a $10 super chat in the hole waiting for us. But now we wait for the Caleb Williams announcement to be made official, and then the Commanders are expected to go with Jaden Daniels. I personally like Drake May more than Daniels. I just don't really understand where the fatigue came in to switch from May to Daniels. I don't think fatigue's the right word, but just, I don't know. Why the need to swap the two when for so long it was so clear that it was Caleb Williams and Drake May? Scott Fry, ATL can't even keep their stadium lights on. Denver Broncos for life. I like the shit talking. It's kind of fun. Let's see which fan base can get the wittiest. Put on auto push to poll.
Yep.
Eric, we all know Denver is. We'll put it on screen for you, Eric. We all know Denver is going to pick up Tom Brady and Randy Moss out of retirement, right? Florio would have you believe so. That's what he wrote, that the Broncos and other teams might be calling Tom Brady after the draft. I don't think Tom Brady is coming out of retirement. I would be shell-shocked, honestly. Eric, appreciate your super chat, though. And the Bears pick is in. Who is it going to be?
Oh,
Who is it going to be? Get your predictions in now. I'm going to go with Caleb Williams. No fingernail polish tonight. I thought I heard someone say he's got silver nail polish on his pinky. But maybe not. I can't really tell right now. I can't see his fingers. But he likes the nail polish. That's definitely something that takes some getting used to, I think. But a lot of high fives and hugs right now at Hallis Hall in Chicago. That's a loaded draft room.
That's a very loaded draft room.
I think there are people who snuck in there just for this moment. I was in the room, Alex Hamilton style. I was in the room when Caleb Williams was picked. And for Lions fans watching, that's got to be concerning. Because they have to deal with that guy twice a year. By the way, I should add, we're not going to wait until Roger Goodell reads the name to make the pick announcement. We'll be tipping picks, so if we find out via Twitter, X earlier, we'll run with it. So just a quick heads up.
It's bamboo, though. It's official.
Caleb Williams, quarterback from USC, is a Chicago Bear. And the Bears' long searched, painfully searched need for a quarterback may come to an end with Caleb Williams. So after the trade with the Panthers, the Bears, as Adam Schefter points out, have DJ Moore, Darnell Wright, cornerback Tyreek Stevenson, Caleb Williams, and a second-round pick next year, all for Bryce Young.
Yep.
Yikes. If Bryce Young was Caleb Williams, then it would be no big deal, I think.
Right.
That's the risk of moving up.
Caleb Williams.
So Caleb Williams walking onto the stage, and he is fired up right now. Look at him. Big hug for Raj. What's up, Roger? Big hug. Hell yeah. John Boy. Hell yeah. And he holds the Bears' #1 jersey up. And now we are on to the second pick of the draft, which will be the Washington Commanders going with, most likely, Jaden Daniels, the Heisman winner from LSU, at pick number 2 as we inch closer and closer to the Falcons at 8, the Broncos at 12. Okay. I do appreciate that the NFL starts the other team's timer.
Yep.
Immediately when the pick is in. So the Commanders, which I don't appreciate how, I think, you know what, conspiracy theory, I think the NFL makes the first 2 teams wait 6 minutes so they can stretch the draft out as long as possible.
Absolutely.
Wait, 7:21, we got our first pick in.
Yeah. If you're enjoying today's live show, make sure you share with a friend. We're trying to reach out to as many people that are interested in the draft, and if you know a friend, feel free to share it.
Yeah. Make sure to share the video right now on social media. If you got a Falcons or a Broncos or NFL fan watching somewhere else, send them our link so they can come hang out with us and be a part of what's turned into a really fun battle between these two fan bases. Broncos country leading in likes by about 40 and in super chats by about 9.
Yes.
Well, Falcons winning in the chat. So it's 2-1 Broncos breakdown right now.
Yep.
Commanders on the clock, though, waiting to make the Jaden Daniels selection official, as that is the highly anticipated play for Washington. But Caleb Williams right now being asked about being picked by the Chicago Bears. Took a lot of sacrifice. Ooh. Come on. Let's get on to the fun part. I can't wait to see what the Patriots do.
Yeah.
I think they're staying put. We all know the first 2 picks.
Yep.
I want to know the next 2. Oh, the Bright Wolf is here. Longtime viewer of the channel. Good to see you, man. Got a lot of familiar names and faces in the chat.
Yep.
Come on, commies. Get the pick in. Get the pick in.
Yep.
Bears themselves tweeting out, Chicago, meet Caleb.
Meet Caleb. Mm-hmm. Also, if you did miss it earlier, just worth noting, if you're just now tuning in, A.J. Brown, right before the draft.
Yeah.
3-year, $96 million extension to stay with the Philadelphia Eagles, making him the highest paid wide receiver in the NFL. Just worth noting.
$32 million a season. That's a big payday.
Big payday.
Definitely silences all the questions about Philly maybe trading A.J. Brown, which never made any sense to me. Never really saw how it could ever get to that point either. Commanders with 4 minutes on the clock before they make the Jaden Daniels selection.
More than likely.
Okay. Chosen one. Dan Quinn is going to want defense first pick. But no, they're not going defense first pick. Ooh, the Commanders' war room looks weird.
Yeah.
It looks like a hotel conference room setup.
That's weird.
Yeah. Looks like Allstate is having their regional convention.
Why is it in a U shape?
Why is it in? I guess everyone can see each other a little bit better. I know. I like this green room.
Yeah.
Looks pretty cool.
They went really all out.
Yeah, I would give Detroit credit. Looking like a very well-oiled draft.
Yes.
We got Jeremy Tolferson. Jeremy, good to see you, man. Appreciate you hanging out with us. Just stopping by. Hope you're hanging out for a while. Commanders, get the frickin' pick in. This does drive my patience up the wall. We know what the pick is. Why do you do this to the rest of us? I think it's ESPN being like, we need more time in between picks.
Yeah. Maybe a little favor.
Yep.
To the execs.
Exactly. I mean, the Caleb Williams pick has just been such a known selection for so long. It's like, all right, I think the whole country's ready to be like, we talk about something else now.
Yep.
Very exciting for Bears fans in the city of Chicago.
Yep.
I hope that they are able to finally find their long-awaited franchise quarterback.
Could be the first quarterback ever in their franchise's history to pass for 4,000 yards.
Never heard that stat before. Did you know Clayton Kershaw and Matthew Stafford went to high school together?
I did.
I've only heard that 1,000 times.
Mm-hmm. Oh, man.
Yep. Okay, so we're waiting on the Commanders' pick. It is in. The Commanders' pick is in, and it is expected to be Jaden Daniels. And, in fact, that is the pick.
Okay.
Tip from online, the Washington Commanders are indeed selecting Jaden Daniels. So the former Arizona State Sun Devil, 2-year LSU Tiger, will go up to D.C. and play for the Commies as Washington also searching for their next franchise quarterback, as they've kind of been stuck in the mud for a few years looking for their next top QB. Last time they took a quarterback number 2, RG3. I don't think it's fair, by the way, at all to compare Jaden Daniels and RG3. There's not a whole lot of similarity between their game at all. Jaden Daniels, a much better downfield passer. Now, I do have some concerns that at LSU, Jaden Daniels, he was asked to do what is best for LSU, which was fades to Brian Thomas and deep to Malik Neighbors. He was not asked to throw a lot more than that. That's obviously going to change in the NFL with better defenses. So we're going to find out if Jaden Daniels can make all the throws that you need to make in the NFL. That is the one question mark I have. Outside of that, great arm, terrific athletic upside. He can run the football very well. There's a lot to like about Jaden Daniels. As Roger Goodell steps on the stage to make the selection for the Washington Commanders. With the second pick in the 2024 NFL Draft, the Washington Commanders select Jaden Daniels, quarterback out of LSU. Now we get our popcorn ready. What will the Patriots do at number 3? Will they trade the pick? Will they stay at 3 and take Drake May? From the first day of our NFL Draft coverage, when the order was determined following the regular season, I said number 1, Caleb Williams, number 2, Drake May, number 3, Jaden Daniels. I did not see a world where the Patriots traded out of pick number 3, and I still believe that to this day. Drake May is a Patriot in my eyes. Not official yet, but that is where I think New England is headed. I just think if you are a head coach and GM taking over a team with the 3rd overall pick in the draft, with a QB-loaded draft class, I don't care what trade package is offered. It's just going to be too tough to pass on an opportunity to get a franchise quarterback when you are not to blame, don't worry about that one, for the 3rd overall pick. Come on.
Yep.
Let's go. Hit the sub button, by the way, if you have not already. Lock yourself in for the best draft coverage for the entire weekend. We'll break down every single pick and give you our analysis and insight as the Patriots are on the clock. And we are waiting to see what their trade will be. Schefter tweeting out, one source said there is a 0 chance the Patriots trade the number 3 overall pick. You know what? I'm a little mad at New England. You can't have a press conference where you say you're open to trading number 3 and then say 0 chance. Like, you were just busting everyone's balls for the last week. And I sort of saw that the whole time. Never thought that they would trade out at number 3. Washington Commanders PR tweets out. They can't even get their own Twitter right, the Commanders. Who follows the PR?
Diehards.
Patriots on the clock, though. So we have Caleb Williams, followed by Jaden Daniels, and now it is expected to be Drake May to the New England Patriots. And following that, the world is your oyster. Evidently, the Cardinals are very content with staying at 4 and taking Marvin Harrison, as would I, by the way.
Yes.
Would not have a big issue with that.
Not at all.
No. But if someone gives them an offer they can't refuse, well, you saw what the Bears got. You may not get all that, but you could get something close to it and put together a lot of really good pieces.
Very interesting to see how these next 3, 4 picks go here. A lot of different rumors from a lot of different mock drafts. If you've been searching the web, hopefully it's at Chat Sports. So we've been putting out a lot of mock drafts here. And, the pick is in for New England.
Petey, is this the first time 3 QBs have picked 3 in a row in the top 5? No. We had Trevor Lawrence, Zach Wilson, Trey Lance.
Trey Lance, yep.
I don't know the last time 4 QBs went in the top 5.
I don't know.
Burrow, Tua, and Herbert. That was 1, 5, and 6.
Yeah, so that was no.
No.
I don't know.
Patriots pick is in.
Let's see what it is.
And it is Drake May.
There you go.
The New England Patriots are drafting UNC quarterback Drake May with the 3rd overall pick in the 2024 NFL Draft. As I expected, 3 QBs, like I had in my mock, going in this exact order. And now I think the draft really begins.
Yep.
Do the Cardinals stay put at 4? Do they trade out? Do the Vikings jump up to get J.J. McCarthy? Now we wait and see. What do the Cardinals do at 4? Remember, as soon as we find out what the pick or the trade is, I'm going to share it with you all. Here's what the Athletics Dame Brugo had to say on Drake May, by the way. May needs to cut down on the reckless decisions, but he's a well-put-together passer with the on-field command, athletic instincts, and arm talent to create solutions for the problems that the NFL defenses present. I like the Drake May selection a lot for Washington. I have him ahead of Jaden Daniels on my board. I know that hasn't been the consensus the last few weeks, but to me, I think he is one of the most well-rounded, polished quarterbacks. And there's a lot to like about Jaden Daniels, but I think the ceiling is higher with Drake May, and I've seen him make more of the difficult passes. And that's why I think this is an excellent pick for New England. And you really got to wonder if they got their next franchise quarterback after searching for one the last 4 or 5 seasons or so. The scouting report on Drake May from our Tom Downey expert at Chat Sports. Fluid, explosive release with the velocity to drive the ball downfield. Last year for the UNC Tar Heels, May threw for 3,600 yards, 24 touchdowns, 9 interceptions in his second year as the starter. I think it would be best for New England to sit Drake May to begin the year. I don't think he is ready to start week 1 of 2024. But I think going with Jacoby Brissett for at least the first half will probably be best for wins and for Drake May. As Roger Goodell announces, the New England Patriots are selecting Drake May, quarterback, North Carolina. So I think this is a great pick for the Patriots. For Patriots fans, you can just take your Mac Jones number 10 jerseys, duct tape May over it, and you're ready to roll. All right, now we wait for the Arizona Cardinals. Do they stay at 4 or do they trade out? Give me your predictions in the comment section. What's going to happen? This is a spot where Denver could trade up. If they're serious about J.J. McCarthy, this is the first real opening on the board for the Broncos to move up and get J.J. I don't think Denver's going to make that trade, but this is a spot where it could happen. If any team's trading up, I think it would be the Minnesota Vikings.
Wow.
But now we wait.
According to Ari Mirov, the Vikings and Giants try to get the Patriots to slide out. The new regime didn't play any dangerous games. Just get your guy and move on.
Notice that did not include the Broncos.
It did not.
If the Vikings were trying hard for May, they may view McCarthy as a consolation prize. Or maybe they don't think McCarthy is their guy and it was May or bust. That's, I think, what we're going to find out next. Does Denver outbid a team like the Giants or a team like the Vikings to get the 4th overall pick and select Drake May? I select J.J. McCarthy. As soon as we know what the Cardinals are doing, we will let you know. This is where it gets exciting, boys and girls. What is going to happen next? Do the Cardinals stay put? If it falls to 5, that's bad news for Denver. No chance Chargers, Broncos make a trade sending J.J. McCarthy to Sean Payton. Not happening. 6 with the Giants could happen, but then you'd hope that no other team like the Vikings made a trade with the Chargers. Sky Guy with a super chat. Cardinals are expected to trade the pick. Oh, not. I lied. Oh, my gosh.
Oh.
Cardinals are not expected.
Okay. Sky Guy.
I saw Cardinals and expected to trade. I repeat, Cardinals are not expected to trade pick number 4.
Ooh, don't jump the gun like that, Petey.
Okay, that's strike 1 on me.
Hey.
I only get 1 strike.
Okay.
1 more strike, stream's gone. Done. Deleting both of them.
Yeah. Sky Guy, appreciate it. I'm back praying for Bo Nix or JJ.
Both are still available, of course. You can continue praying.
Yep.
But J.J. McCarthy, Still waiting to be his name called. But the Cardinals at 4 are not expected to move. Do you guys want to hear a little bit of a truth serum?
Sure.
Last year, during the NFL Draft, I was doing Super Chat for hot takes. And my hot take a year ago was that the Arizona Cardinals would select Marvin Harrison at pick number 2.
Yep.
2 picks off.
Wow.
Very upsetting. By the way, we'll update the Super Chat battle, but hit me up on Twitter if you want to have more NFL content in your life. I know there's a lot of great Twitter followers in the world, but help support your man here. Help me get to 2,000 Twitter followers. That's the number my boss put out for me. And if I don't get to that number, listen, it's not your fault. It's my fault. But that means I'm the one that has to have a 5 a.m. meeting with him. And that's not a joke. So I really like for that not to happen. Waiting for the Cardinals' official pick. 3.5 minutes on the clock for the team in the desert. If they're not trading it, they're going Marvin Harrison. That's the only logical pick here. Unless they throw a curveball at us and they go Malik Neighbors. Cardinals are going with Marvin Harrison.
There you go.
The Arizona Cardinals have a new toy for Kyler Murray, and a guy that I have mocked to be the next Larry Fitzgerald may follow Larry Fitzgerald's footsteps as Marvin Harrison. Prepare to learn desert. You are going to Arizona. He is the pick for the Cardinals at number 4. So we go Caleb Williams, Drake May, Jaden Daniels, Drake May, and then Marvin Harrison Jr. So what do the Chargers do at number 5, Colin? Do they stay at 5 or do they trade back?
About to say, we've heard some rumors, at least today, that they could be interested in taking
I think the Chargers are trading.
Okay.
I think they're trading.
I think they could be drafting.
Yep.
I wouldn't be surprised if they go offensive tackle at pick 5. I'm not going to lie. J.C. Latham's come up a lot in the last 24 hours. It would be crazy for Joel not to be the first offensive tackle taken, but that's apparently who the Chargers guy is.
Chargers are on the clock. The Arizona Cardinals pick is in, and it is Ohio State wide receiver Marvin Harrison Jr. In my eyes, the number 1 wide receiver in this draft class. I thought this was a don't overthink it situation. Dane Brugler said Harrison has dominant receiving traits and can win from anywhere on the field because of his athletic gifts. Route savvy and adjustment/finishing skills at the catch point. He is among the best receiving prospects to enter the NFL in recent memory. I mean, he can make every single catch you need him to make. He can make all of the difficult acrobatic wide catch radius movements needed. Marvin Harrison Jr. is an Arizona Cardinal as the pick is now official with the reading of Roger Goodell. And I think it's a really good move for the Cardinals. I thought if they traded back out of 4, they would be aggressive to trade back up to get Marvin Harrison. Ultimately, it kind of came down to what kind of offers were they getting for pick number 4, and could they move back up to get Marvin Harrison if that's where their heart was headed towards. So, chalky so far, I would say.
Very chalky.
My mock draft had J.J. McCarthy going to the Vikings at pick 4, but the Cardinals trading back up at 5 to get Marvin Harrison.
Yeah.
Can I take half a win if the Vikings get J.J., but it's just not at 4? Everyone gets the same player, just not the right order of the picks.
We'll have to chat decide.
We'll fudge the numbers.
Fudge.
But the Los Angeles Chargers are on the clock.
Yeah. I think this is no shock so far. Like you said, very chalky.
Yeah.
Marvin Harrison Jr. really been the best wide receiver draft prospect for the last
2 years.
Yeah, last 2 years.
Yeah. You know a guy is really good when you're watching college football and you're like, oh, he's going to be one of the early picks in next year's draft. And someone goes, oh, he can't go to the draft next year. He's still too young.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, there's another year of this?
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. I mean, he was a man amongst boys.
I think it's an excellent pick by the Arizona Cardinals. Kyler Murray, he's got to be elated right now. I mean, this could not go any better for Murray. Who, by the way, I'll just stick my neck out and say, I think the rest of the NFL gave up too quickly on Kyler Murray.
I agree.
I think we're going to see a resurgence from Murray and the Cardinals. I think they've got a good head on their shoulders down there with their head coach and their GM and Gannon and Monty. And I think we're going to see some good stuff. Auto push to pull. So now we wait for the Chargers. What do they do? As Marvin Harrison Sr. will now watch Jr. Peyton Manning, of course, and Marvin Harrison Sr., dynamic duo in Indianapolis. But Junior, he may pass his dad. I mean, that says a lot. But he's just that good.
Yes.
He's that good. He's that special. Do you want to update the Super Chat battle really quickly here? Very close.
Yeah.
Likes favoring Broncos Breakdown by about 45-50 or so.
Let's see if I can update real quick.
Waiting for pick number 5. What do the Chargers do? Clock is ticking. Tick, 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 tick. 5.5 remaining. Do they trade out or if they stay put? Do they go offensive tackle? Do they go Malik Neighbors? This is the true Pandora's box.
What the heck? All right. So current Super Chat battle, we got the Falcons sitting at roughly $146. The Broncos sitting at roughly $158. And I will say the Broncos are also winning in likes, 280 to 234.
2-1 Broncos right now.
Winning.
Long game though. That's a good pick for the Cardinals though.
It is.
I really think that this was the, hey, if you could get an incredible offer, awesome. But no one's going to look back at this as a bad selection.
Nobody.
I think Marvin Harrison is going to be a consistent Pro Bowl type of wide receiver. But now we wait for the Chargers, and this is where the fun really starts to begin. Broncos at 12, Falcons at 8. Could Denver try and trade up to 6 if J.J. McCarthy is still available? That's the question.
That is the big question.
Yep. Now we wait. Oh, boy. I'm excited.
Like I said, I think they're staying and they're taking an offensive tackle.
They're taking a long time here. Maybe that's a sign of them spending a lot of time on the phone to get a trade done.
Could be. Is it their friends up north?
Yep.
Minnesota? Who knows?
First round picks with Pro Football Hall of Fame fathers. Kellen Winslow, Chris Long, Kyle Long, Jake Matthews, familiar name, Marvin Harrison Sr. Or Jr. with Marvin Harrison Sr. Oh. I won't confirm it just yet. But one person is saying who the Chargers are taking, but I don't trust him enough to
It's not a
say
reliable
that
source.
with 100% certainty. So we're waiting. We're waiting. Come on,
Adam
Chargers.
Schefter, the Chargers are keeping number 5. No trade.
Chargers are keeping 5. No trade. Gosh, I'm really mad at myself because at the start of the draft process, I was like, I think J.J. McCarthy could be this year's Will Levis. And then I got suckered into it too much.
Yep.
And I need to what I need to do is I need to film a video just to myself, like a hostage video, in January after college football, and watch that again a week before the draft, so I can remember what I thought when they actually were playing football versus what all the agents and GMs want you to think during the pre-draft process.
Yep.
Chargers are staying at 5, and they are picking. We don't know who yet. We don't know who. And now we wonder, could the Giants stay at 6 and get J.J. McCarthy after all? New York met with J.J. twice in the pre-draft process.
Yeah.
J.J. McCarthy was asked on the Rich Eisen show, hey, what team do you think could pick you? He said the Giants met with me more than anyone else did.
Yep.
A second date's a lot.
It is.
There's some interest.
It's not nothing.
Yep. Come on. Let's go. What are the Chargers going to do? Tackle? Malik Neighbors? Roma Dunze? They lost their top 2 wideouts.
Yeah.
But Jim Harbaugh has not had success because of elite wide receiver play. It's been in the trenches.
Yeah.
Come on, Chargers. Make the pick.
Make it big.
See, the guy I said, I can't trust him.
Okay. Well then, hey,
Won't even say his name.
don't even give them the satisfaction.
Chargers have 90 seconds to make a pick.
They are taking a long time to make this decision.
I wonder if Harbaugh is not a leak guy. Maybe he doesn't want the tip to come out early.
Maybe. But the pick is officially in, though.
Pick is in! Pick is in for the Chargers.
Who is it?
They are taking Notre Dame offensive tackle Joe Alt.
Oh, wow.
The Chargers are taking Notre Dame offensive tackle Joe Alt, and tables are being flipped in the Titans war room.
Yeah, they are.
That was their
not
pick
happy.
at 7. They are panicking in Nashville.
Yeah, they are.
The Chargers are taking Notre Dame left tackle Joe Alt, 6'9", started off as a tight end, converted to tackle, and he's been one of the most dominant offensive tackles in college football the last 2 to 3 seasons. Joe Alt, here's his bio from Dane Brugler. Alt stays light on his feet with the big man agility, body control, and instinctive recovery skills to become a high-level run blocker and above-average pass protector very early in this NFL career. He projects as a first-year scheme versatile starter. Joe Alt is the reported pick for the Chargers at number 5 per multiple sources. And Jim Harbaugh got his way, I would say. I think if anyone else was the head coach of that team, Malik Neighbors would have made a ton of sense. But instead, they ultimately go offensive tackle Joe Alt. Now, they have Rashawn Slater as their left tackle. He's an all-pro. They're not going to move him. Joe Alt played left tackle at Notre Dame for 2 years. Can he move to right tackle? I do think there is a tendency to be overly confident that tackles are interchangeable. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. So that's why there's been a lot of buzz around the Chargers going J.C. Latham, who played right tackle at Alabama. Instead, LA believes in their coaching staff that they can train and teach the best tackle in the draft, Joe Alt, to learn a new position, right tackle. But the pick is in for the LA Chargers. They reinvest in their offensive line. Justin Herbert may have the 2 best tackles in football, in Slater and Joe Alt. I know it's early to say that, and Alt hasn't even taken a snap yet, but 6'9", and the way he moves, he may be a quick Pro Bowl and very quick All-Pro type of player. And in the 2024 NFL Draft, with the 5th overall pick, the Los Angeles Chargers select Joe Alt, offensive tackle, Notre Dame.
Makes sense.
And now we shift to the Giants. What does New York do? Do they go with Malik Neighbors?
Do they go J.J.
That's
McCarthy?
who I've been mocking. Or do they go with J.J. McCarthy?
Yep.
Right now, I think there are 2 teams smiling. The Broncos and the Vikings.
Yep.
If they wanted to trade up for J.J. McCarthy, it just cost them a whole lot less to jump from 11 or 12 to 6, 7, maybe 8. Could the Falcons trade the 8th overall pick away if a team is searching for J.J. McCarthy?
Could be.
We have a lot of intrigue ahead of us. What's going to happen?
Also, make sure, if you're watching the stream, hit that like button for us, please.
We're at 292 likes on our Broncos Breakdown stream, 245 at Falcons today. Who can get to 300 likes first? 55 for the Falcons, 7 for the Broncos. The Chargers' Twitter is undefeated.
Chargers Twitter is one of the best things in all sports.
Not your average Joe.
No, they're not.
That's what their Twitter's. That's what their Twitter.
Yeah.
They're just so funny.
That's freaking awesome.
Witty.
Oh, man.
Okay, so there are 2 really good wide receivers available still. Malik Neighbors and Rome Odunze. What do the Giants do? They need help at wide receiver bad. But if they think J.J. McCarthy is a future starting caliber quarterback, now would be the time to move on from Daniel Jones. Think about it. If you're the Giants front office, if you're picking 6 again next year or any earlier, I don't think you're the one making the pick. I think you've probably lost your job.
Exactly.
If you're picking top 6 again next year.
Yep.
So if they don't think they're going to have a better quarterback next year, and they don't think Daniel Jones can get them better than the 6th overall pick, this would be the time to take a quarterback.
It would be.
We're going to find out if J.J. McCarthy is their Bo Callahan or if Daniel Jones is their Brian Drew. Scott Fry, I hope you like that one. The Giants are selecting Malik Neighbors with the 6th overall pick.
All right.
Giants go Malik Neighbors with pick number 6. They've got their Brian Drew.
Yep.
So Malik Neighbors, I think this was just too fitting. He's the New York Giant, LSU wide receiver, just like OBJ. The 2 aren't identical receivers, but they still have that big explosive playmaking ability to their game. As the Giants' pick is in. So we've seen Caleb Williams, Jaden Daniels, Drake May, Marvin Harrison, Joe Alt, and now it is Malik Neighbors for the New York Football Giants at pick number 6. Pick is in for the G-Men. Wow, that's a lot of people. That looks like Woodstock. I don't even know if anyone in the back can hear or see a thing. I like this selection a lot for New York. I always felt like if I had to pick one guy to have a better career, J.J. McCarthy or Malik Neighbors, I'd go Malik Neighbors 10 times out of 9.
Yeah.
Like, this to me seems like the very sensible pick when looking at your positional needs. You need help at wide receiver. And Malik Neighbors could be the best wide receiver in this draft class at number 6.
Could be. The Athletic's Dane Brugler had this to say about Malik Neighbors. Neighbors has only average size, strength, but he offers dynamic potential because of his ability to accelerate and decelerate on command and always make himself available with his athletic catch point skills.
So J.J. McCarthy, still available. Does he even go round 1?
Does he?
Could the Vikings just get him at 11 overall? And if they could, was it worth trading for the 23rd overall pick from the Texans if you don't even need it to trade up? But the Giants have confidence in Daniel Jones, and they go with Malik Neighbors.
Yep.
He led the FBS in receiving yards per game last year with over 120. With the Giants going Malik Neighbors, the Tennessee Titans at 7, I'm sure would love to trade this pick. Joe Alt is gone. Neighbors is gone. Maybe they have interest in Rome Odunze, but I'm guessing Tennessee's not just taking phone calls. They are making phone calls.
Yes.
And if desperation comes through the line, we could see a team exploit the Titans. The New York Giants select wide receiver Malik Neighbors out of LSU. Here's the scouting report on Neighbors. Some people think he's the number 1 wide receiver in this draft class. Our NFL expert, Tom Downey, has him number 2 on his big board, only behind Marvin Harrison Jr. Neighbors, a playmaking, explosive, downfield threat. I'm not sold that he can make all the catches in short intermediate distances, but I am sold that he can score touchdowns, and that's good enough for the Giants. They need help at that position bad. Darius Slayton has been their number 1 guy for 3 straight years at this point. That was just not going to cut it. So they go out and they go get arguably the top wide receiver in this draft class, depending on who you ask. J.J. McCarthy, still available. Does Denver trade up for him? Broncos country, do you want to see Denver trade up for J.J. McCarthy right now? Yes or no? The Titans are on the clock. Could they be the first team to trade their pick?
Yep.
We're going to have to wait and see.
Also, make sure
You subscribe.
we are at just over 2,100
100 subscribers for the Falcons, just under 21,400 for the Broncos. So make sure you subscribe.
Hit the sub button down below. I want to get to 22,000 subscribers on each channel before the end of the NFL Draft. Obviously, we have a little bit of ways to go, but if you have not subscribed yet, you're looking for like a spot for daily content on your favorite team, hit the sub button down below, and we'll keep you guys locked in for the best coverage throughout the entire NFL Draft. Should we tell everyone about our wonderful sponsor, Game Time, today? All right, let's do that. As we're in between picks here, waiting for the Titans selection, we're going to fill you guys in on our wonderful sponsor, Game Time, because they've got great deals for everyone watching. So let's check them out. Support for today's live show comes in from our friends at Game Time. Spring is here, which means we have baseball, playoff basketball, hockey, and so many other great sporting events, concerts. And I don't want you to miss out on any of the fun because of ticket prices. With Game Time, you can get killer last-minute deals and all-in prices for all the big events. There's nothing more frustrating than spending time searching for the best ticket prices, which is why you should give Game Time a shot. They have flash deals, zone deals, and the lowest price guarantee. In fact, if you download the Game Time app right now and use code CHATSPORTS, you'll get $20 off your first purchase. I love that Game Time gives you a view from your seat before you purchase your tickets, so there are no surprises when you show up. Plus, hidden fees suck, but Game Time gives you an all-in price option, so you really know how much the tickets are going to cost. it's the best place to find last-minute seats. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code CHATSPORTS for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply, but use that code CHAT Sports for $20 off. Download Game Time today. Last-minute tickets, lowest price guaranteed. Well, we got another pick to break down here. The Tennessee Titans pick is in, and they are going with Alabama's right tackle, J.C. Latham. Clearly the number 2 tackle after Joe Alt was taken by the LA Chargers. The Titans are going with J.C. Latham, and Tennessee had a big needed offensive line, the weakest spot on their entire roster, and they go with what I have to assume is the number 2 player on their board. So they already took Peter Skoronski last year from Northwestern in round 1. He primarily played guard for them last year. Now they add to their tackle position here, and Latham likely to step in and go at right tackle for Tennessee. So we see Malik Neighbors go to the G-men at 6, and the Titans at 7 do not trade the pick. No one, I guess, is calling too much to try and get J.J. McCarthy. And ultimately,
today's show is brought to you by our friends over at Mando,
at
the
number
best
7. Okay, we're getting excited here.
We are. We're getting close to one of our team's
We're
picks.
getting close to the Falcons at pick number 8. Who do you want Atlanta to take? Do you want
Today's
them to
show
take
is sponsored
Roma
by-
Dunze or Dallas Turner? The Atlanta Falcons are the next team on the clock. Here we go, boys and girls. Who do you want the Falcons to take? The moment we've been building up for is almost here. Atlanta is next. Will they trade the pick? Will they stay put? Go defense? Go offense? I got butterflies. What are they going to do?
Oh, man.
The Titans go J.C. Latham. That means the Falcons have their pick of what was the expected litter. Roma Dunze, Dallas Turner, Byron Murphy, or maybe a trade for a team searching for a quarterback like J.J. McCarthy. And then there's been the very subtle whispering of Atlanta liking Michael Penix. I sure hope they don't make that pick. I like Penix, but not an 8 for Atlanta. What are the Falcons going to do? Get your predictions in. It's the very last time. Dallas Turner. That is my prediction. As soon as we know the pick, we will reveal it. I'm excited. All the mock drafts, all the draft buzz, everything. It's about to hit a boiling point. Titans go J.C. Latham. What does Atlanta do at 8? Terry Fontenot, you're on the clock. Come on. I think the most simplistic pick is Dallas Turner. You have a massive need at pass rusher. I think he's the number 1 edge rusher in this draft class. I like Roma Dunze more than Turner as an entire prospect, but I think team need is going to weigh in heavily here for Atlanta.
All right, the Athletics' Dane Brugler on J.C. Latham. Latham needs to clean up his inconsistent yet fixable habits, but he offers elite play strength and functional football movements to stay square and overmatch his opponent. Great pickup for the Titans, who are obviously needing to revamp that offensive line, and he is now the newest member of the Tennessee Titans.
Everyone watching from our Falcon stream, spam ATL if you're ready for Atlanta to make the pick. I want to get a YouTube chat spike like we have never seen before. Spam ATL. And for our Broncos fans watching, if you want Denver to trade up to get J.J. McCarthy, start spamming DEN. Here we go. Waiting for the pick from the Falcons. Titans pick is in. It has not officially been announced. The Falcons will be just a few minutes behind.
Yep. Our expert Tom Downey on Latham, plug-and-play option at right tackle, although teams could try him at guard. Impressive power to go along with massive length and hand size, slow-footed and too aggressive at times. J.C. Latham is officially going to the Tennessee Titans.
What is going to happen with pick number 8? Do the Falcons stay put? Do they trade out? Does a team move up to get J.J. McCarthy? Or another wide receiver like Roma Dunze who is available? What does Atlanta do? Oh boy, I can almost taste it. I can't wait. I can't wait.
Yep.
This is it. This is it. What are the Falcons going to do at 8?
I don't know.
What are the Broncos going to do? Are they going to move up? Pick is in still for the Titans. Announce the pick, Roger. What does Atlanta do? My suspicion is if anyone has any interest in J.J. McCarthy, cell towers are being taken down near Flowery Branch. 400 plus people hanging out with us right now. Reminder, like the video if you've not already. Here we go. Are we going to get a move?
Man, oh man.
Come on. Titans, announce the pick so we can get on to pick number 8. Roger Goodell's at the podium. With the 7th pick in the 2024 NFL Draft, Tennessee Titans are taking J.C. Latham. Okay.
And that means the Atlanta Falcons
Yep.
are officially on the clock.
For any Titans fans watching, Jonathan Jones says that Tennessee hopes that one day Latham can make the switch to left tackle, the much more coveted tackle position. But he did play right tackle throughout his time at Alabama. But the Falcons are on the clock. Here we go. What does Atlanta do? As soon as we see it, we'll let you know.
Oh man, oh man.
Here we go. Are we going to get a trade back? Am I going to do a drunk episode? Nerves are setting in for me right now.
It's a little bit, man.
Atlanta, with under 5 minutes to go on the clock. What does Terry Fontenot, Raheem Morris, and company do with pick number 8 for another year? The 8th overall selection belongs to Atlanta. They've gone offense 3 straight drafts. Do they break that run and go defense? And if so, with who? Or does the team trade up for the 8th overall pick? The Vikings at 11, the Broncos at 12, the Raiders at 13 are all looking for a quarterback. Could this be the spot where they trade up to get JJ? Get your predictions in. What will Atlanta do with pick number 8?
Man, oh man, the tension.
The Falcons are taking Michael Penix. I'm going to throw up.
Oh my god.
Oh my God.
Oh my god.
Oh.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Atlanta's taking Michael Penix.
Oh my god.
Oh my God, I can't believe it.
Oh.
Atlanta's taking Michael Penix.
Oh.
The Falcons are taking Washington quarterback Michael Penix at pick number 8.
Wow.
What are you doing?
Oh
I am
God.
shocked. I am speechless. I don't even know. Everyone's going to run in the room right now. Here they come.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
I'm not joking. The Atlanta Falcons, with the 8th overall pick in the 2024 NFL Draft, are going to select Washington quarterback Michael Penix. The pick is in. They're hugging and kissing in Flowery Branch right now. Because logically, when you pay a quarterback $180 million over 4 years, you should use your top 10 pick in that draft to replace him. I can't defend this pick.
Oh my god. Holy.
I don't know what to say right now. But there are people that are very happy because I said Dallas Turner's a Falcon.
Yeah.
Are you so happy that Penix was the pick? I literally, I don't know what to say.
Do I need to put it in production, by the way?
That,
or are we just
that
going?
Penix?
Yeah. Or what are we like for the?
When the cut begins, let them know the cut starts.
Okay.
That'd be it.
Okay.
Michael Penix is the pick for the Falcons. The pick is in. The Rams spoke to the Falcons today to try to trade him for what many believe was for Brock Bowers, according to Diana Rossini. I don't know what to even think of this. Oh, my goodness. We're going to break down this selection, everyone. Michael Penix is the pick for Atlanta at number 8. Let's get into it. Our friends at Mando will support the pick, but that's it. I don't know what to think right now. It is pure silence in J.J. McCarthy's watch party in Michigan right now. He's not even the 4th quarterback taken. So, okay. I'm going to come at this from both angles, the positive and the negative. But my initial reaction is I don't like this pick. I'll be very transparent about that. And it's not even because I think Penix is bad. He's actually my 4th quarterback in this draft class. I have him ahead of McCarthy. But I don't think that the timing is right for Atlanta. Here we go. Should we break it down? All right. The Atlanta Falcons make the first big surprise and splash of the draft. They go quarterback Michael Penix from Washington with pick number 8. And my raw reaction is I don't like this pick. And it's not that I don't like Penix as a player. I have him 4 on my QB list. I just don't think from a timing perspective it adds up. But we're going to come at this from 2 angles. We're going to get to know Penix better as a player so you all can have a better idea as to who Atlanta just took. And then I'll give you my reaction and analysis later on. But here's the scouting report on Michael Penix. He's got great arm strength. He's probably the most aggressive quarterback in this class when it comes to pushing the ball down the field. If you want a quarterback that's going to make risks and take gambles and look for the big plays, he is your man. Now, that comes at a price. He tends to miss some layups. There are some easy checkdowns, some short, easy completions that should be batting 1,000 that he misses from time to time. I like Penix a lot as a quarterback. Didn't think the interest would be that serious from Atlanta with a top 10 pick, given that they just paid Kirk Cousins $180 million. To me, I felt like if they wanted to go replace him, they would do that maybe in next year's draft or the following year's draft. But ultimately, the Falcons paid a visit to Michael Penix in Seattle, didn't stay overnight, no dinner, flew back to Atlanta, and I suppose their minds were made up. So grade the pick for me. A, B, C, D, or F. We'll do a complete grading video later on tonight, so make sure to circle back here. But right now, as I just give you my raw reaction to this, because I'm watching this in real time with all of you, it's a D to C minus. And that pains me because I like Penix a lot. I do. This is not a bad pick because Penix is a bad player. No, that is not my qualm with this selection. I feel that if you spend $180 million in a quarterback for at least 3 seasons of guaranteed money, and you've got a top 10 pick, you should use that pick to better the 2024 Atlanta Falcons. This was a pick made for the 2026 Atlanta Falcons. Why spend $180 million on Kirk Cousins if you're not going to use your top 10 pick to invest in the next 2 to 3 years when you've got Kirk Cousins? I felt like this was a great opportunity to go get a pass rusher, go get a wide receiver. Not to think 3 years down the road. I just think the timing is wrong with this selection here. That is my biggest issue with this selection. Now, I've got more to say on this in just a moment, but I do have to share with you guys an awesome deal going on with our friends at Mando. So stick around in just a moment when I tell you more about the Penix selection. But first, this on Mando. Today's show is brought to you by our friends over at Mando, the best spot for whole body deodorant. Grab some Mando today and nip body odor in the bud. Put it on your pits, package, feet, and beyond for whole body freshness. From the makers of Lumi deodorant, Mando is clinically proven to work hard all day. Instead of covering up BO with heavy fragrances, Mando stops odor at the source, stopping the stink from happening in the first place. Plus, our viewers today can get $5 off their starter pack when you use code CHAT at shopmando.com. Now, the Mando starter pack includes awesome things for new customers like solid stick deodorant, cream tube deodorant, 2 free products of your choice like mini body wash and deodorant wipes, plus free shipping. And with the warmer weather here, I'm walking to work a whole lot more. And if you are on the same camp as me, you don't want to get to your office or your school being the smelly guy in the corner. No, ditch the stink right now with Mando. Get $5 off their awesome starter pack when you use code CHAT. That equates to 40% off. Go to shopmando.com and use code CHAT to get $5 off the starter pack. I put all that information in the comments and description of today's video. It's time to smell better. Your partner will thank you. All right, more thoughts on the Penix selection. Some background on him. 6-year guy in college football. He's going to turn 24 years old in early May, so I'm not too much of an ageist. I think we see a lot of quarterbacks play their best football later on in their career compared to earlier in their career. But we're looking at a guy that if he sits behind Kirk Cousins for at least 2 seasons, he'll be 24 this year, 25 next year. Looking at a 26-year-old near week 1 starter. To me, the age is a little bit of a concern, but there is a lot to like about Penix. I don't want to be a complete rain cloud. Back-to-back seasons at Washington where he looked like a top 3 quarterback in college football. I just feel like if everything was moved along 2 years, this would be a great pick for Atlanta. Have him sit for a season. Instead, you had a great window with Kirk Cousins to maximize the last few years he has in the NFL, and I feel like the top 10 pick should have been used on bettering the 2024 Falcons, not thinking about the 2026 Falcons. If Michael Penix goes on to have a great career after Kirk Cousins, we'll look back at this and we will clown on me, and I hope that happens. But I wonder at what price Atlanta pays by not using this pick on a Dallas Turner, a Byron Murphy, a Rome Odunze, to get the most out of what your win-now window is with Kirk Cousins. Also, there is something to note on Penix's injury history. He was at Indiana for 4 years. He suffered 2 torn ACLs, 2 season-ending shoulder injuries. All the medicals at the combine checked out, so I'm not too overly concerned about this. I really like Penix as a player. And if this was for most other teams, I think it'd be a great pick. But I just go back to the timeline of what you paid Kirk Cousins and the window you created with him being under contract for the next 4 years, at least 3 with the guaranteed money in those first 3 seasons, and how you're not using the next 3 years with the top 10 pick, and hopefully the last time you pick top 10, by the way, for the foreseeable future on a pass rusher, which you did not address at all in free agency. On another wide receiver, you bring in Zach Robinson, the Rams offensive coordinator last year. He's going to be our QB coach, the new offensive coordinator for Atlanta. He's going to trot out a lot of 11 personnel, 3 wide receivers. Do you have 3 wide receivers you think can play at a high level with no injury concern? I don't think so. How about your pass rush? You're going to go back to Calais Campbell or Bud Dupree? That's pretty much the only option you have at this point because this draft does not have a lot of deep pass rushers. I just don't understand the rhyme and reason behind signing Kirk Cousins to a monster contract just to take his replacement 2 months later. Make it make sense for me. Please, I'm asking you guys watching right now. I don't follow the logic in this pick. Now here's what Dane Brugler had to say on Michael Penix in his The Beast write-up. Penix is inconsistent in several key areas: mechanics, anticipation, pressure reaction, but his arm confidence and willingness to attack every square inch of the field can be a productive formula in the right situation. I think Penix will compete with Heineke, obviously, for the backup quarterback job. And listen, Kirk Cousins suffered a season-ending injury a season ago. He definitely doesn't have a clean bill of health, so I can understand the logic in adding some more quarterbacks just in case Cousins isn't ready for week 1 next year, although all signs point to that not being the case. But to use the 8th overall pick for a backup when you're trying to win now? Dallas Turner could have helped you win right now. Rome Odunze, who the Bears took at number 9, could have helped you win right now. I don't see how Penix helps get the Falcons another win in 2024 or 2025. Now, we're going to have more coverage throughout the entirety of the NFL Draft, so make sure to subscribe down below. By the way, I've gone how long at this point now? 8 minutes plus? 8 minutes and change? Yeah, I'm going to be getting shithoused. Ever clear to the dome because I said Dallas Turner's a Falcon. But I think we can all agree, very few people expected Michael Penix to be the pick at number 8. We talked about the smoke on literally the last video we posted on this channel. Ultimately, there was fire. But Michael Penix, I wish you the best. I hope he turns out to be a great quarterback for Atlanta. Maybe he'll be like the next Brett Favre, and hopefully the Falcons don't trade this Favre away. But I just keep going back to the broken record of why sign Kirk Cousins to this monster contract if you're not serious about maximizing the $180 million you just spent on him by investing in the 2024 Falcons with an edge rusher, with a wide receiver, with any other position, but the only spot that would never touch the field, backup quarterback. And don't sell me on, well, if Kirk Cousins gets injured, they've got a good backup plan in place. Teams don't use top 10 picks for backup quarterbacks just in case the starter gets injured. Atlanta sees something in Penix that they want to see pan out long term. And I guess this crush they had on him ever since they met with him and saw him work out in Seattle a few weeks ago was too real to get over. I also feel bad because I think it was Tom Pelissero. Someone tweeted out when the Falcons went to go visit Penix, Atlanta has the number 8 overall pick. And I was like, dude, that has nothing to do with this. The Falcons are not going Penix at 8. Like, pretty much all of you watching right now, I was completely blindsided by this selection. So, with that being said, let me ask you a question before we let you guys get on out of here. And then we'll be back for round 2 with our coverage then as well. But what's been the worst pick so far? I'm challenging you to say something other than this one. I don't agree with this pick. I don't agree with this pick. I really hope Penix has a great career with the Falcons. But as things stand right now, I don't like this pick. Not because I think Penix is bad. I like Penix as a quarterback. I do. I want that on the record right now. I just wanted to see Atlanta do something for the 2024 Falcons in this draft, not the 2026 Falcons. Oh, boy. J.J. McCarthy's a Viking. J.J. McCarthy is a Viking. What do you guys think? Does anyone like this pick? Let me make the live poll that. Broncos, by the way, creeping up. Vikings pick is in at number 10. It's expected to be J.J. McCarthy. 4 straight. I can't believe Raheem Morris was like, let's go do this. Do you like the Mike? Okay, I'm doing all caps. It's a little aggressive. Do you like the Michael Penix pick? Well, we should also address the other elephant in the room. I said Dallas Turner is a Falcon, and if they don't pick Dallas Turner, I will be getting top 5 drunkest of my life. So that's something I have to look forward to, which there's worse punishments in the world.
Yeah.
I think what I'm going to do is just make like a home video of like 5 reasons the Falcons will win the division. I'll think of a better video topic.
I'm not going to lie, PD, I might just have to be there for moral support.
Yeah, I think so.
I might have to be.
News in the new NFL news and mock drafts.
Yes.
What are the chances we trade up for Dallas Turner? I mean, we're at pick number 10. We still haven't had a single defensive player go off the board yet.
Which is
I don't think it's very high, but I guess I can't say no to it. Chances, it really depends how much farther Dallas Turner falls.
Yep.
I don't think he's going to fall much further.
Wow.
Live poll, by the way, on Falcons. Do you like the Michael Penix pick? 72% say no.
Yeah. It's been an absolute whirlwind.
J.J. McCarthy is a Viking. The Broncos are picking at 12. By the way, I don't know why Minnesota did this with the Jets. It's kind of giving me vibes of when the Bears traded up 1 spot to get Mitch Trubisky. But ultimately, Minnesota jumps 1 spot, which was funny because in my mock draft I said if there's one team that I could see trading out of the top 10, it's the Jets.
Yeah.
And then they did, to the 11th.
They did.
I don't think they got much for the trade, though.
Yeah, here, let me see.
Vikings trade picks number 11, a 4th, and a 5th. And the Jets send the number 10 pick and the 6. Yep. So basically, a 4th rounder to move up 1 spot.
Yep.
That's kind of the nuts and bolts of it. And then they swap 5 and 6.
Let's see if I can pull it up somehow.
Archangel, I think your note says it best. Like, I'm going to give Penix a chance, but with the actual fuck.
Yeah. It's one of the more...
You know what's going to happen? Like, Atlanta's going to be in a playoff game.
Yep.
And they're going to be up by 3, and the defense can't get a stop, and you're like, man, really wish you had an edge rusher at that point. The Minnesota Vikings, with the 10th overall pick in the 2024 NFL Draft, select. Oh, we got some. Okay, never mind. Never mind.
Yeah.
J.J. McCarthy. I thought it was like McCarthy's family. I'm like,
Yeah.
that's not it. But no. TAP. I don't know what TAPIS stands for.
I don't know.
Steven, are there any concerns about Cousins' fitness for the start of the season, that he won't be ready? I think all questions are on the board right now. I'm happy for Penix because I really liked him out of Washington.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if the Vikings made that pick, I'd be like, great pick. I really would have been, honestly.
Right.
If the Titans did it. But not the Falcons after paying Kirk Cousins.
That's, like I said, it's one of the more mind-numbing choices I've ever seen in the draft in a long time.
Yep.
Wow. I'm still shocked.
Oh, that's cute.
That is really awesome.
So, J.J. McCarthy, who's a native of the Chicagoland area, will stay in the NFC North, but it will be with the Minnesota Vikings at pick number 10. 5 quarterbacks go in the top 10,
Yeah.
and not a single defensive player taken yet.
Yeah.
Kind of signals the direction that teams think the NFL is headed. Better to score points than to stop the other team from scoring.
Very good point.
I just am flabbergasted still with the Penix pick.
Yeah.
I wish I had like a better explanation. I got nothing.
Yeah, I'm just...
I got nothing.
Yep.
I just can't wrap my head around this.
Yep. And with that, the Jets are officially on the clock. Oh, my goodness. What a first 10 picks. My God. Wow, oh, wow.
I mean, unless Kirk Cousins gets injured, which I don't think Atlanta's predicting, earliest Penix could really start would be 2026. I don't think... They're not ditching Kirk Cousins after 20... No. Mm-hmm. Kirk Cousins is locked in Atlanta for the next 2 years.
Yep.
So 2024, 2025, Kirk Cousins is the Falcons starting quarterback, barring an injury, which means 2026, Michael Penix is 26 years old. He'll have 2 years left on his initial rookie contract with the 5th-year option still available. And that's, like, as soon as possible. What if Kirk Cousins just keeps playing well?
It's a big if.
Like, you may never see... Kirk Cousins is a 4-year contract. Michael Penix is a 4-year contract right now.
Yep.
You may not get to see Penix at all.
Yeah.
He'll be Brandon Weeden age when he gets his first start.
Man, oh, man.
Yep.
Wow.
Jets are selecting Olu Fashanu with the
Okay.
11th overall pick. So the New York Jets go offensive line. The Denver Broncos are next up, ladies and gentlemen. The Broncos are on the clock with the Jets going with Olu Fashanu. What will Denver do? Stay put? Trade back? J.J. McCarthy is gone. Michael Penix is gone. Does that create some panic to go get Bo Nix if they feel like he may not be there in day 2? What will Denver do? Get your predictions in right now. Who do you want the Broncos to take? Let me know in the chat. Olu Fashanu is the pick for New York. They signed some Band-Aid offensive tackles, but they get a long-term piece with Fashanu from Penn State.
Smart move by the Jets.
What are the Broncos going to do with the 12th overall pick? That's the next question mark here. Dane Brugler says Fashanu is a work in progress as a run blocker, but above average in pass protection because of his body quickness, anchor versus power, and attention to detail. He projects as a long-term starting left tackle in the NFL with Pro Bowl upside. You can read the scouting report on him. Waiting for the pick for the Broncos. The Jets' pick is in. It is Olu Fashanu, Penn State's left tackle. What does Denver do at 12? We could see our second trade of the draft. The Vikings jumped one spot to get McCarthy. 5 quarterbacks are gone. Does Sean Payton go Bo Nix as soon as 12? Or does he trade back to get more picks? Does he go defense? I feel like Denver could go a handful of directions.
Many. And just to recap the picks here, number 1, Caleb Williams, no surprise. Number 2 to the Commanders, Jaden Daniels, quarterback at LSU. Number 3 to the Patriots was quarterback Drake May out of North Carolina. Number 4 to the Arizona Cardinals was wide receiver Marvin Harrison Jr. And then we get to the next round. Joe Alt, number 5 to the Los Angeles Chargers. Number 6, Malik Neighbors, the wide receiver out of LSU, goes to the New York Giants. J.C. Latham, number 7 to the Titans. Number 8, in a shocker, the biggest shocker of the draft so far, the Atlanta Falcons draft Michael Penix Jr. out of Washington with the number 8 overall pick. And then moving on to the most recent picks, Roma Dunze goes number 9 overall to the Chicago Bears. J.J. McCarthy, the national champion quarterback for the Michigan Wolverines, goes to the Minnesota Vikings. And Olu Fashanu, the blindside tackle for the Penn State Nittany Lions, goes to the New York Jets, leaving the Denver Broncos up on the clock.
Broncos on the clock. What are they going to do? We'll have the pick cycling for you guys down at the bottom of the screen. As we inch towards the midway point of the first round, Denver is on the clock right now. Olu Fashanu, the 11th overall pick in the draft for the New York Jets. What does Denver do at 12? Give me your predictions. Last chance. Make the pick for the Broncos. Type the name you want them to pick right now. I would love Brock Bowers if I were the Broncos. I think Brock Bowers is the most surefire, safe pick at this selection. Dallas Turner could be an option as well. Dallas Turner could be an option. He's still available. Still looking for the first defensive player taken. Broncos have a good pass rush, but Dallas Turner could really knock it up a whole other notch.
Yes.
Could they trade back?
The pick is in.
Pick is in. The Broncos are staying put at 12. Wow. So much chatter about them trading. Ultimately, they stay at 12. Broncos pick is in. Waiting for the announcement. What is it? Broncos are taking Bo Nix.
They're taking Bo Nix. Oh, my God.
I can't believe it.
6 quarterbacks are going into the top 12.
Broncos are taking Bo Nix.
Oh, my God.
Oh, my God. The Broncos are taking Bo Nix, 12th overall.
Oh, my God.
Not my preferred selection, but I'm going to be optimistic for Broncos country.
Wow.
I projected that they took Bo Nix in round 2. Did not see 6 quarterbacks, right, going in the top 12. Bo Nix is the pick at number 12 for the Denver Broncos. Wow. Can't say I'm shocked, just surprised that he went in round 1 instead of round 2. But the Broncos address the quarterback position after trading for Zach Wilson. They go with Oregon quarterback Bo Nix. I know the fan base was pretty much split 50-50 on Bo Nix. I want to be a half glass full type of person and look on the upside for this selection. I felt like there were better options at 12, but I believe that Bo Nix has some really good tangible upside elements to his game that Sean Payton could get out of him. Bo Nix, the pick at 12 for Denver. We're going to break it down, go through the entire selection. I'll give you my analysis and reaction. We'll go through the stats on Nix and everything like that. Bo Nix, the pick at 12. What do we think? Do we like it? Yes or no? Wow. Penix and Nix go in the first 12 selections.
Unbelievable.
That is something that no one forecasted. Penix and Nix. And the Raiders have a big sigh of relief. And they'll probably be the first team to go defense now.
They probably won't.
Yep. Kawhi AF, good to see you. I saw you hanging out there on main channel. Man, Bo Nix. I mean, initial reaction is, I'm sorry, but I think he's a backup quarterback. And no one wants to hear that on draft day. Everyone wants to be told good news. So I'll try and come in from that angle. But I am kind of lying through my teeth. I don't think this was a good pick by Denver. I liked a lot of other players a lot more. Should we break down the Bo Nix selection? Yep. Let's break down the Bo Nix pick in more detail. With the 12th pick in the 2024 NFL Draft, the Broncos select Oregon quarterback Bo Nix. I mocked the Broncos taking Bo Nix in almost every mock draft, but always in round 2. But after a run of quarterbacks with Penix and McCarthy going a few slots before Denver, really makes you wonder if maybe a little bit of panic crept in Sean Payton's office, and they ultimately go Bo Nix in round number 1. After a lot of chatter about Denver maybe trading back, ultimately they stay put. And listen, I'm going to try to be optimistic about this, but to be honest with you, my initial reaction is I'm not a big fan of this pick. But I can see how Sean Payton can look at a quarterback like Bo Nix and think, that's the type of quarterback that can run my offense. Here's what the scouting report is on Nix. He's got good mobility. I think he's more than just a pocket passer. My concerns are he was a check down Charlie last year for the Oregon Ducks. And in his defense, that was the Oregon offense. That's what Dan Lanning asked him to do. That's what Oregon asked Justin Herbert to do. And ultimately, we see how Justin Herbert's working out in the NFL. So maybe Bo Nix could have a similar career path to Herbert. But I don't think that Justin Herbert's going to be on the same path I don't think Bo Nix will be on the same path as Justin Herbert. Last year for the Ducks, FBS best 77% completion percentage, 4,500 yards, 45 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. What the NFL is waiting to find out is, can Bo Nix push the ball down the field with accuracy? Something he was not asked to do at Oregon, and he had a lot of really good playmakers underneath that did some great things for him after the catch. That's why I thought Bo Nix was a round 2 guy, not a round 1 guy. If you're taking a quarterback in round 1, you have to have evidence, in my opinion, that they can make all of the throws, and there's a good amount of volume that supports that. I don't have that right now for Bo Nix. Now, how would you grade the pick? A, B, C, D, or F? For me, I give it a C to C minus. And listen, on draft day, everyone wants to be told their team made the best pick in the world. The reality is that's not always the case. We know that with Paxton Lynch. I feel like Bo Nix is not going to be the answer to the Broncos' decade-long search for a franchise quarterback. I want to be wrong. Believe me, I do. But my honest opinion is I think Bo Nix is going to make a really good backup quarterback one day. And that's probably the last thing you were hoping to hear when you clicked onto this video. But I don't want to just stand here and sell you guys a bag of magic beans and just be an absolute homer for the Broncos and say everything they do is perfect, when we know that's not the case the last decade. So I'm not over the moon about this pick. But if Sean Payton thinks Bo Nix is the guy, well, Sean Payton knows a hell of a lot more about football than I do. I can admit that. So I'm going to be optimistic and believe that Sean Payton sees something in Nix that he can get out of him that Oregon didn't, and really push the ball down the field and make all the high-level throws you need to make in the NFL. And hopefully that's what Sean Payton's able to get out of Bo Nix. But as things stand right now, I am definitely in the camp of I'll believe it when I see it. But one thing is for sure, Denver needed to get a quarterback in this draft. It could not be Zach Wilson, Jarrett Stidham, and Ben DiNucci duking it out for the starting quarterback role. Now, I'll tell you who I think is going to start week 1 in just a second. But first, I want to give a quick shout out to our sponsor today, Mando. Today's show is brought to you by our friends over at Mando, the best spot for whole body deodorant. Grab some Mando today and nip body odor in the bud. Put it on your pits, package, feet, and beyond for whole body freshness. From the makers of Lumi deodorant, Mando is clinically proven to work hard all day. Instead of covering up BO with heavy fragrances, Mando stops odor at the source, stopping the stink from happening in the first place. Plus, our viewers today can get $5 off their starter pack when you use code CHAT at shopmando.com. Now, the Mando starter pack includes awesome things for new customers like solid stick deodorant, cream tube deodorant, 2 free products of your choice like mini body wash and deodorant wipes, plus free shipping. And with the warmer weather here, I'm walking to work a whole lot more. And if you are on the same camp as me, you don't want to get to your office or your school being the smelly guy in the corner. No, ditch the stink right now with Mando. Get $5 off their awesome starter pack when you use code CHAT. That equates to 40% off. Go to shopmando.com and use code CHAT to get $5 off the starter pack. I put all that information in the comments and description of today's video. It's time to smell better. Your partner will thank you. I want to read to you guys a tweet Adam Schefter just put out about Bo Nix and the Broncos' decision to go with him. Schefter tweeted out, Denver held a private workout with Bo Nix the day after his pro day. The night before the workout, the Broncos sent Nix 3 packets of offensive play installation. And the next morning, as they worked out in the classroom with Nix, he, quote, crushed it, per a Broncos source. The Broncos then took Nix from the classroom to the field, watched him throw for an hour, and were convinced they had the quarterback they wanted. As this video progresses, I'm going to try to be optimistic about the pick and go, if Sean Payton saw him on the field and in the classroom be a guy that crushed it, the hell do I know? But my gut tells me this is not the great pick that the Broncos need to make here, because if they don't nail this selection, we're looking at 2022, 2023, 2024 with essentially no first-round picks. When this team has some holes, they have a very, very skinny depth chart with a lack of depth at key positions that could have been addressed either with another positional pick at 12 or trying to trade back to get pick number something in round 2 or 3. Ultimately, we'll never really know how aggressive teams are trying to trade up, as the Las Vegas Raiders, by the way, in real time are making the pick I wanted Denver to make, Brock Bowers. So now Denver gets to look forward to playing Brock Bowers twice a season. Now here's what Dane Brugler from The Athletic had to say about Bo Nix. Nix gets in trouble when he plays loose with his technique and his eyes speed up on him, but he understands where to go with the football, and his scrambling can give defenses fits. He has the tools to become a middle-of-the-road starter. For weeks, I've been saying I think the Broncos are going to take Bo Nix. Always thought it was going to be round number 1. So who's going to start week 1? I guess Jarrett Stidham will start. I think it's Jarrett Stidham's job to lose in training camp, and I don't think we're going to see Sean Payton push Bo Nix to the top of the depth chart. Although, unlike maybe other quarterbacks you see, like Drake May, for example, Nix is not a guy that needs some time to develop. Nix started 5 seasons in college football. Bo Nix turned 24 years old in February. He was a 5-year starter, 61 career starts in the collegiate level. He doesn't need any time in training camp to pick up the swing of things. If he doesn't have it after 61 starts in college football, he's never going to get it. Now, we're going to have pick-by-pick analysis for you all throughout the entirety of the 2024 NFL Draft. So make sure to subscribe to the channel, because the Broncos will be next on the clock at pick number 76 in round number 3 or 75. We'll have to wait and see whether or not they stay put at that selection. No, 76. I had it right the first time. But Bo Nix is a Bronco. I'm going to try to be optimistic about the selection, but I ultimately go back to my gut feeling. And my gut feeling is he was a round 2 type of quarterback that I think could be a really good backup. Hopefully Sean Payton can get the best out of him and can turn him into the Broncos franchise quarterback that they have been searching for via the draft, keep in mind, since I would say like Jay Cutler. Probably even further back than that. No, not Elway. It's been a long time. Case in point. Hopefully Nix puts an end to the guy with the jersey that has all the names on the back of him crossed out one after another. I want Nix to be that guy. If you're looking for my opinion, I don't think he will be that guy. But I would love to be proven wrong. Believe me, rooting for Nix to be successful, but I've got my concerns about his ability to make all the throws over the middle of the field, down the field, after not seeing a big amount of volume of that from his time at Oregon. So to recap the draft so far, we saw quarterbacks go 1 through 3. The Cardinals stay put at 4. They went Marvin Harrison. The Chargers, like I thought, went offensive tackle. The Giants go Malik Neighbors. The Titans take J.C. Latham, the number 2 tackle on their board. Then the fireworks really started. If you don't like the Bo Nix pick, well, just be a little grateful. It could be the Atlanta Falcons after signing Kirk Cousins. They decided to draft his replacement immediately. The Bears go Rome Odunze for Caleb Williams. The Vikings, if you wanted J.J. McCarthy, was 2 picks ahead of Denver at pick number 12. Man, I guess Denver was ultimately sold on Nix over McCarthy because the Jets traded the pick, and I don't think that the Broncos were being outbid by the Minnesota Vikings 4th and 5th round pick. That's something Denver could have accomplished if they really, really wanted McCarthy. So let me know. Do you like this pick by Denver? Yes or no? I know during the draft, everyone wants to see everything half glass full and be an optimist. But the reality is, that's not how the draft works. It doesn't take long to realize the good from the bad picks in the draft. And I sure hope Denver ends on the right side of history. Okay. What are you thinking? Do you guys like the pick? I'll make it the live poll right now. Do you like the Bo Nix pick? I saw Bo Nix coming to the Broncos for a few weeks now. I just always thought it was round 2. Let's see. 60. We'll get some more votes in, but it's looking like 2/3 like the Bo Nix pick, 1/3 does not. The police is here. I want the 2/3 to be correct. That's the mean thing about the draft. If you're just a homer for every pick, after every few years, it gets a bit old, right? Like every guy's a Hall of Famer. But if you speak against a pick, you're the devil. The Raiders went Brock Bowers at 13, by the way. Waiting to see who the Saints take. They are going to go offensive tackle Talisi Fuaga. That's my prediction.
Yeah, that could be a really good pick.
Oh, the Saints. Oh, it is Fuaga.
It's like you work here for a living.
Fuaga is the pick for New Orleans at pick 14.
My guy Petey is a prophet.
Well,
almost.
I had Nix to the Broncos. I always had him in round 2 to the Broncos. I'll take half credit. Did not have Penix to the Falcons.
Yeah.
Don't like either of these picks, to be honest. Here's the funny thing. Ready for this?
Yep.
If they swapped the picks, I would like it for the Broncos because I like Penix more than Nix. I wouldn't like Nix for the Falcons.
Yep. Let me see.
Nix is old. He's 24, guys. And here's the thing. I don't have too much of a concern with the age. The age factor really kicks in when they get to their second contract. They're already almost 30.
Yep.
And that's kind of like a splash of water in the face. Like, whoa, you're telling me you're already approaching the wrong side of 30 and we haven't even given you a second contract yet?
Yeah, it's a fair point.
But I think quarterbacks do a lot better of a job later in their career. So I don't really get too hung up on the age for QBs.
Yeah.
Wide receivers, running backs for sure.
Yeah. Just both picks for both these channels. Golly, man.
Yep.
What a whirlwind.
What a whirlwind indeed. We have a super chat. Kauai AF, a longtime viewer. The office also sounds split on the decision, hearing the background that is. So behind me is the Raiders report. Mitchell Renz, the host of it, was adamant he did not want Bo Nix. So it was a huge sigh of relief to see Bo Nix go before the Raiders, because that meant the Raiders couldn't take Nix. And he loves the Brock Bowers selection, it sounded like.
Yeah.
But the office, I'll tell you what, when I go out into the bullpen later, they will be quick to make fun of me.
They will.
They will. They will come after me. Kauai, thank you so much for the super chat. I really, really appreciate it. It's Mike Days. We should have got Bo in round 2. There's too many talent in round 1. Should have got Bowers in round 1. I couldn't agree more. Like, I really do. If Brock Bowers was the pick at 12 and they got Nix in round 2, if you somehow got traded into round 2, of course, I think that would have been a really good draft.
Yeah.
Because if they miss on Nix in round 2, that's like missing on Drew Lock. Like, it didn't cost you the future, it just cost you time. If you miss on a quarterback in round 1, you're wasting time and you're wasting the future. It's a double whammy. That's my fear for Denver.
Yeah.
Oh boy, should we get Desire Best, next one up.
Yep.
What a joke. I love this team, but Bo Nix isn't it. Like, if I was critical when they announced Paxton Lynch, would you guys have been mad at me at the time?
Fair point.
Looking back, you'd be like, all right, he may have been onto something about this one. Like, I hate that like people think I am just the meanest person for the teams I cover. I just try to be honest.
Right.
If you want to go to another channel that's just going to suck Denver's dick, like, by all means, there's plenty of people that do that. If you want someone that's going to tell you when it's, good, I'll do that. And when it's bad, I'll do that. We're going to update the Super Chat battle in just a moment. But first, a quick shout out from our sponsor, Game Time. Today's show is sponsored by Game Time. If you are trying to get tickets to a local sporting event or concert, whether it's a playoff basketball or hockey game or anything else under the sun, get started with Game Time today because they're going to give you killer last-minute deals and all-in prices for all the big events. When you download the Game Time app, you can get $20 off your first purchase when you use code CHATSPORTS. Now, personally, I love that Game Time gives you an option to do all-in price right from the jump. That way you don't spend 15, 20 minutes going through an entire checkout process just to see that the ticket price doubles with all the taxes and fees. But with Game Time, you don't have to worry about that. They'll tell you what the all-in price is right from the start. So download Game Time today. It's the best place to find last-minute seats. When you download the app, create an account and use code CHATSPORTS for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply, but again, create an account and redeem code CHAT Sports for $20 off. I put all that information in the comments, in the chat, and description of today's video. Download Game Time today. Last minute tickets, lowest price guaranteed. The Saints pick is in. We're at pick 14. And we still have not seen a defensive player off the board, by the way. New Orleans went Talisi Fuaga, offensive tackle from Oregon State. Ryan Ramczyk is injured for them, unfortunately. Trevor Penning, their first-round pick from Northern Iowa, has been a bit of a bust so far. Andres Pete, their other starting tackle, is a free agent. They really have no one starting at the moment. So it was a no-brainer they went offensive tackle. But no defensive players yet. Maybe the Colts at 15 end that run with their pick of the litter. Dallas Turner, Terrion Arnold, Byron Murphy. I'm shocked. I don't think, this has to be an NFL record, by the way. For the longest, yeah, it is. The record of most offensive players to open up a draft was 7 in 2021. We've doubled it at 14. So, to keep you guys apprised on the entire situation at Chat Sports, here's the Super Chat battle between our Falcons stream we're currently having going on and our Broncos stream. It's neck and neck. The like battle, it's within 2 right now. Broncos Breakdown is 2 more likes than Falcons today. Atlanta can take the lead on likes and in Super Chats potentially. And then it comes down to the chat rate for the tiebreaker. But the pick is not in yet for... Oh, boy. Diana Rossini, I'm going to read you guys this tweet.
Uh-oh.
The Falcons called Kirk Cousins when they were on the clock to let him know. From what I learned, Cousins understood a QB would be considered, but he did not believe his successor would be taken in the first round. I'm told he's a bit stunned. I'd be stunned too. Like, make it make sense if you're Atlanta to give a guy guaranteed money for 3 years and already draft his replacement. Mm-hmm. If you like Penix so much, by the way, why'd you sign Kirk Cousins?
It's a very good point.
Why not just take the money you spent on Kirk Cousins and put it to Christian Wilkins, Daniil Hunter, and then get Penix at 8. If they didn't sign Cousins, I really wouldn't have a big deal with this either. That's the crazy thing. I'd actually like this pick a lot.
If they hadn't signed Cousins.
If they hadn't signed Cousins.
Because then that means you could have also spent in other areas of free agency that you gave to Cousins.
Dude, it's like, imagine if you spent $10 million on a lake house.
Yep.
And that lake house needs some work. You can go get a boat for it. You can go put a brand new deck. And instead of that money you're going to spend to pimp out the lake house, you spent it on a downtown skyline apartment. What? You just bought the freaking house. Why not invest in the house you just paid $10 million on?
Okay.
Now, the house may not be good in 4 or 5 years. And then the skyline bachelor pad would be good.
It's true.
But you can get the bachelor pad in 2 or 3 years.
I know. It's mind-numbingly dumb. But there's nothing other than call it. Also, plans still going ahead as expected.
Okay.
So just a heads up there.
Yep. Hit the thumbs up button. Falcons today has passed the Broncos Breakdown in likes by 3, but they trail in Super Chats by 20. So it's 1-1 right now.
It is.
We had a super chat come in, I thought.
Yes,
We'll throw that on screen.
Let's see where did it come from. There it is.
Super chat from Ray2 Certified. Ray2 Certified. First time super chatter. Little two clap action. Little 1-2. Let's go. I bleed blue with a $2 super chat. Or $1 super chat from Ray2 Certified. And we have our first edge rusher, a first defensive player. Latu to the Colts.
Wow. Holy crap.
What?
Latu ahead of Turner?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Latu's the first defensive player taken. The Indianapolis Colts with the 15th pick in the 2024 NFL Draft are going with UCLA's Latu.
We got some super chats.
We got some super chats from Cash3, $10 super chat. Cash, thank you so much. I bleed blue. I trust in Sean Payton. Dude, that's the only option.
That is the only option.
And hey, that's not a bad person to trust either. It isn't.
Yep.
But Sean Payton, no coach bats 1,000 in the draft. Nobody does. So hopefully Sean Payton knows something we don't know.
The thing is with Payton, right? Like, Raheem Morris and Sean Payton, they have tied themselves to these quarterbacks they've taken tonight.
Yep.
For both these teams. Sean Payton is a very respected head coach, obviously in the NFL circles. Mm-hmm. If Nix doesn't go well, you already had it with Russ, right? So you already had to move off of that. If Nix doesn't work, this is...
If Nix doesn't work, Sean Payton might be a little bit shit out of luck. Because here's why.
Yeah.
He got to pick the quarterback.
Yep.
But not only that, people miss on quarterbacks. That couldn't be a fireable offense because every time then someone missed on a quarterback, everyone would get fired.
Exactly.
But you also got ownership to sign off on cutting Russell Wilson.
Yep.
This was a twofold pitch from Sean Payton. Let me cut Russ so I can go get my quarterback. Which, by the way, you could still get Bo Nix even if Russ was still on the roster.
Right.
Which was the other reason why a few months ago I still said, you shouldn't cut Russ. You could still draft a quarterback. Russ should not have hurt feelings. He should see this one coming.
Yeah.
So I hope Sean Payton is right. I really do. Really quickly, Latu, the first defensive player taken. Some say the best pure pass rusher in this draft class. He had the most sacks in FBS the last season with the UCLA Bruins. He goes to Indianapolis, who I got to envision weren't planning on this pick. But maybe they were. Latu wasn't heavily mocked for the top 14.
Right.
I'm guessing they were just holding their breath that he would still be there. So, good for Indianapolis. They get the first defensive player, and they have their first choice. They go with Latu. No one had a mock draft of 14 players going all offensive first.
No one did.
Here's the Brugler write-up on Latu. Latu's medical history will play a major part in his draft grade, but he is a pass rush technician with the instinctive feel and athletic bend to be an impactful two-way go rusher in the NFL with a first to second round grade. Here's the scouting report on him from Tom Downey. He is truly the best pass rusher when it comes to hey, I need a sack. Well, Latu had more sacks than anyone else. Is he the best athlete of the bunch? No, he is not. Are the medical concerns real? I guess not. He got through the combine with flying colors. I wish him the best at Indianapolis. I was never super high on him because I always felt like the way he won at UCLA would not transfer super well to the NFL. But Latu is an Indianapolis Colt. And he's the first defensive player taken in this draft. Cash 3 with a $2 super chat. F, TF, and AB.
Terry Fontenot and...
Okay. Wait, what?
I thought... Well, this is...
I kind of like F, Terry Fontenot, and Arthur Blank. I was like, Raheem Morris.
I was like...
Yeah. Take Rattler. I also don't like Spencer Rattler at all, so I wouldn't be on board with that. I honestly... The two quarterbacks I did not like in this draft that were, highly regarded guys were Spencer Rattler and Bo Nix.
Yeah.
But honestly, really good for Bo Nix. I know I'm sure if he watched my video, he wouldn't be super pumped up about it. Mm-hmm. He was dead at Auburn.
Yeah,
He was a
so
big time recruit, true freshman starter, and they ran him out of that city. And he just went in the first round of the NFL draft. Like, that's a really inspiring message, not to be super sappy, of like, just because someone else discards you doesn't mean you're bad at that forever. So it's a really good lesson to others. Like, just because one person gave up on you doesn't mean that you're done. Okay. Should we update the Super Chat battle? So here's the Kirk Cousins was the most expensive smokescreen in sports history. Diana Rossini. Yeah, you could say so, Diana. So here's what's going to happen, though. Unfortunately, I just got told from our producer that the Cowboys channel will be kicking us out of the studio at some point for their live draft. So if we can get some Super Chats, that might be able to fend them off. I can't make any promises, though. So right now, we're $10 separated in Super Chat battle between the Falcons and the Broncos. To talk about the Bo Nix selection, I just think that there is some concerns about his ability to push the ball down the field, and that may become evident in the NFL. I don't really care much about the age. He's 24. You know, I think it's going to be like one of those things that people look back at when he's like, I'll tell you what, he's going to be the victim of a lot of really mean, fun facts. Like, there will be quarterbacks taken in the first round 2 years from now, and they'll be, or no, Bo Nix is older than Lamar Jackson. That's always the go-to.
Yeah.
Like, Lamar's like 12 years old.
Yeah. He is really young.
Yeah. Bo Nix is going to be older than a lot of starting quarterbacks in the NFL.
I can't believe we had 6 quarterbacks go in the top 12 of an NFL draft.
I can't believe Atlanta took Michael Penix.
Like, that one's really just, oh, man.
Did Arthur Blank know about this?
It's a fair question.
Because I'm watching Terry Fontenot talk to Arthur Blank in the war room. And Arthur Blank's body language is, why did we just take this quarterback when I just paid this guy $100? That's a really tough thing to sell the owner on.
Yeah.
I wonder if Arthur Blank knew that was the pick.
I'm wondering the same thing.
I mean, he surely knew when they made the phone call.
Right.
Was there was the rule in the draft room, no one say Penix around AB? Because he doesn't know we're doing this.
Yeah.
I also really liked in the Broncos war room, they showed them all, of course, they always celebrate after every pick. And George Payton looked pretty fired up about it.
Yeah.
But the sad fact is George Payton 2 years ago during the draft, he just played Russell Wilson highlights during round 1. And that may not have been the best move.
Yeah. So Adam Schefter just tweeted this out. Fewest overall picks for 6 quarterbacks selected in NFL draft history. So
took 12 picks.
Yeah. So it took 12 picks for all 6 quarterbacks to go off the board. And, yeah, that's a new NFL record.
We got 2 Super Chats coming in from our Falcons Today viewers. We'll put those on screen. Randy, after that pick, we should all... I love what Randy said.
Please.
Yes.
I need it. We need a collective effort.
I think you're right, Randy. I'll set the time, and we'll have a joint drinking party.
Yeah.
And you know who's going to be there? Kirk Cousins. And probably Arthur Blank. Arthur Blank should pay.
Arthur Blank should pay.
Actually, Kirk Cousins should pay. He's going to $180 million. They can split the tab. But Randy, yeah, they should. Unbelievable. We had $2 Super Chat coming from Cash 3 as well.
Okay.
Dude, I can't imagine Arthur Blank knew about this.
Right.
How do you sell the owner on it? Terry Fontenot is an idiot. Top 10 tight end, top 10 running back, top 10 backup quarterback. Yeah. Not looking too good right now. He was really highly respected and regarded coming over from New Orleans.
Wow. The Seahawks are drafting Texas defensive tackle Byron Murphy.
I had that in my mock draft.
You did?
I did. I got that one right.
Yeah. So do a few people here at Chat Sports.
Seahawks have him going Byron Murphy.
I'm good with that.
Yep.
I'm good with that.
We got some Super Chats coming in from our viewers at Falcons Today. We'll throw that on screen for you all.
Yep.
Falcons today, by the way, has now passed the Broncos Breakdown in likes and super chats. JC, how do you think this affects day 2 strategy? Excellent question, JC. I think day 2 strategy was the original day 1 strategy. Pass rusher. There's probably going to be an element of like best player available because picking at 43, you really got to wait and see who's there for you. But maybe they try and trade back in to get Dallas Turner since he's still available. And with every pick that passes, the cost to go from 43 up is a little bit cheaper. But I don't think you can get from 43 back into round 1 without giving up a first-round pick next year. So Dallas Turner is scrolling Twitter and IG right now.
Who would have thought?
Remember when before we started the stream, I was like, I would love to go late in the draft because you don't know where you're going to go live.
Right.
I don't think Dallas Turner feels that way right now.
Yeah, I'm about to say.
He may have to like back out. He's like Michael Scott.
Mm-hmm.
He sold his condo on eBay.
Yeah.
I'm probably gonna tank my eBay score, my eBay profile. Dallas Turner may have to back out of a previously purchased home in Atlanta's area. JC, how do you think it affects it though? To answer your question, I think they probably target edge rusher, and that's going to be a reach pick. I don't like any edge rushers in round 2. Honestly, not a 1. Emmanuel Prado, I want what the 30% of y'all are smoking. I think Emmanuel coming in from our Falcons viewership, that's the 30% that like the Michael Penix pick.
Yeah.
Again, this is not me saying Penix sucks. It's me going, why did you spend all that money on Kirk Cousins if you weren't going to be serious about being contenders in 2024 and 2025 with him? You had an opportunity to get Roma Dunze, Latu, Turner, someone to help you the next 2 years. That's the one thing Penix can't do. Junior Riv, next one up. Terry and Blank smoked crack this morning.
Yeah, that,
I think they might have locked Raheem Morris in a closet.
Yeah.
I think they gave Raheem Morris, like, hey, the draft starts Friday this year. I don't know if you saw that. Schedule change.
Yep.
Just take Thursday off, dude. Trey, Arthur Blank seemed disappointed in the draft room following Penix pick. Terry Fontenot on the hot seat. I don't think you can make a pick top 10. Mostly even round 1, actually, for that matter. Without ownership approval-ish.
Yeah.
At least he has to know the pick.
Yeah. Hence the movie draft.
It's really tough to believe that he found out in the moment.
Yep.
And if he did, I kind of think it's a fireable offense if in previous drafts the precedent is you have to tell the owner who you're picking.
Exactly.
Like, what if he told Arthur Blank, I'm going Dallas Turner, and then did a 180? I don't know.
Yeah.
Josh, what's going on, man? I love the pick. I'm not sure he fixes all of our problems, but I do feel like it's a huge step in the right direction. I definitely agree, Josh, that if Bo Nix plays very well for the Broncos, there are going to be other problems to address, but you did address the biggest problem and the most important problem to fix, which is quarterback. Bo Nix may not have this team winning playoff games next year, but if he is a good quarterback for them, the other problems are a lot easier to solve. So if Bo Nix is right, Denver can live with not having a great CB2 or a great backup tackle to replace Garrett Bowles or a great edge rusher or another good wide receiver. Like, those are manageable problems. You can't manage a bad quarterback. That's fireable. So, Josh, 100% agree with you on this one.
Yeah.
Now, if you have not liked the video yet, make sure to do so. We're closing in on 400 likes on both of our channels.
Oh.
We see which one gets to 400 first.
Okay, I just got the, Yep.
We got to trade,
Yes.
trade. The Vikings are trading up with the Jags. They are not staying put at 23. Jacksonville is acquiring pick 23 and pick 167. That's all to jump up 6 spots? 167 is what? Round 5, early round 6? That's very light.
It is.
Oh, and 20. No, it doesn't make. You're swapping 17 and 23, and all it cost to go back 6 spots was a 6-rounder.
Yeah.
So the Vikings are trading up right now. Are we signing off?
We got the call.
We got the bat signals in the air. Well, we're going to sign off. Not joking. Our Dallas Cowboys channel needs to come in here, and they're going to go live for their let's put the last super chat on screen if we can. I'm sorry. From Adam Wynn. Adam, you'll be the final super chat. Michael Penix is a Falcon. Bo Nix is a Bronco. Adam, bring back Rich McKay at this point. Atlanta United says yes. So we will sign off. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with us. I have to turn Studio Space over to our Cowboys channel. The goal is next year this time, we have expanded here at Chat Sports, and we have more studios so I can stay live for the entirety of round one. But unfortunately, that's just not where we're at right now, so I have to share the studio space. But thank you to everyone who hung out with us for the first 2 hours of the NFL Draft. It was a blast, and I'll see you all throughout the weekend with more rounds 2 through 7 coverage.